It's a new era for an old battle. It's back to War in the Woods. 10 on 10, our original state, our wild beginnings. We've returned to where we began. The old generation is still here and fighting, with the new generation starting to embrace the rugged lure and pure fun of woodsball. 10-man paintball is back, and this time, it's not going anywhere.
Takamoto here, getting back to the grassroots of paintball and playing some 10-man in the woods, a little bit of hyperball action here, just back in the good old days. I've played for Dynasty the past 5 years. I haven't been playing paintball tournament for, I want to say, the last 4 or 5 years. I think for the 10-man paintball side, it's fun, and when you started out, that's how everybody played paintball, especially how tournament paintball even started, was in the woods, playing with 10-man, then kind of transitioned to airball, and then X-ball kind of came around after that. I haven't been to a tournament in a while, but there's a lot of people that, people like myself that still love paintball. I've kind of transitioned on to other things, but still love the fact that they can get out, play with friends, hang out. There's still some competition to everything going on. That aspect of the paintball is what people are kind of, what you first started playing paintball for, and that's kind of drives people back into the game. Just in my stage in life, it's just kind of time to get away and see some old friends, play paintball, which we all started for the fun of it, and just get out there in the mud and roll around and get some spray on, and that's what kind of brought me out to this tournament. You're out here competing within like the NXL and the pro leagues and even all the other divisions. It's a competition. You're out there to win. You're going to be practicing, you're going to be grinding, and then when it's tournament time, it's all serious. But at least with this so far, for the time being, we're all here out to have fun, and that's the name of the game. Like even though I played at Dynasty the past 5 years, I'm playing with Cat Factory this event. So even though they're all my buddies, we get to go out there and have a fun time, and that's probably the difference of the 10-man side. It's like any other day. You're going to just go play some paintball, and hopefully we just don't shoot each other in the ear, and we're nice when we bunker each other.
The team started in the mid-'80s. The truth was, most of my guys didn't play anymore. One of the best parts about Farside is, since we've had such a history, so many years of playing, there's so many different evolutions of the team. I think one of the reasons the guys came out and started playing again is the variety. Airball got repetitive to us, but the woods, every woods field is so uniquely different, it's crazy. We're gonna get to play hyperball again. Some of these, we're gonna get to play mounds again. Hyperball and mounds were so briefly in paintball, and then we aged out of them. We went straight to airball, that now getting to play those again is absolutely amazing. It's all sorts of fun, and the slower rate of fire, because it's mechanical only, or you have to shoot 5.5 balls per second for electronic guns. One of the beauty parts about that is it allows the old guys to move around a little bit more. It allows the young guys to really take ground again. People are moving everywhere. You see old fat guys motivating their weight. They are taking corners, they are closing out games, they are running people down. And that's what makes paintball fun, is the fact that anybody can play it. No matter how fast you are, you're not faster than 300 feet per second. Two flags, dirt, rocks, stick bunkers, hyperball, mud. It'll rain at some point. It'll be all the fun of old school paintball. So it's a little bit nostalgic for us. What I love the most about this is my old guys that are coming back and playing.
Trying to cheat right now, and you're totally screwing this up. Just kidding.
Trying to figure out how to get 14 bodies on the field, but we only have 13 players.
We actually have Mikey Bruno all the way in the back.
Where's Psalm? Is Psalm in here?
One of the really cool things about this game is you can use a wide range of equipment. We have players out there right now using, $150 starting markers that, could be rental equipment one day and are competition the next. And then we have, the hot rods of the sport, the latest and greatest, designed specifically for this format with modern ergonomics, very simple operation. And because of the format layout, this does give you certain advantages. The mechanical is uncapped, whereas electronic markers capped at 5.5. The equipment does level that playing field where you're not going to have the ramping, and it's much more about communication, teamwork, and moving 10 guys around the field. You gotta think you have twice as many bodies, you need twice as much communication. So it really changes the dynamic, and a lot of that comes from just the tech behind 10-man.
Honestly, if you're gonna do something like this, you need to pick up a mechanical gun. It's way more fun. And the big guns out here, you got a ton of autocockers, which is awesome. The nostalgia behind one of those is just great. And then some of the major players and gun manufacturers are coming out there and getting some modern guns out there. And honestly, I'm out here shooting a gun, I think it's a $200 gun, and it keeps up with everything out here. It shoots super straight. And now Eclipse is, we're testing out some of their new high-end mechanical guns that they're getting into. And I'm really excited to get my hands on one of those.
So this is a Bell Sales Evolution. There are not too many in this fade. This is what they call the Lifesaver fade. Bell Sales was making cockers back in the 90s, and the Evo X came out in, I think, 99.
Blue, silver, baby blue evolution. So the Shock Tech double trigger frame. I'm normally a slide frame guy myself, but this is a beautiful specimen of the autococker, courtesy of Dave Baines. And a little rusty, so I'm gonna go break the rust off here, and hopefully I don't short stroke this here in about an hour while we go crush people on the field. When I was younger, there were two main guns, the auto mag and the autococker. And if you lived on the West Coast, you shot an autococker, and you didn't mess with the auto mags. That was the East Coast thing. So it was a coastal rivalry between these gun platforms, and I got my first one of these when I was 16 years old, 15, and then started playing pro at 16, and I got my first free gun, which I still have. But this thing is it's like a 57 Chevy. It's just a beautiful, just laser beam shooting. This thing is it's a beautiful machine. And when they work good, they work really good. But since I haven't shot one in a while, so I'm coming over here and practicing a little bit because I'm probably going to short stroke this out here, which is why I'm going to carry two squeegees. But we'll see. It'll be fun.
Sport. Alex Frazier is the best paintball player that's ever lived, and so he's out there crushing it. And if you have an Instagram account and you don't follow Alex Frazier, you are an idiot. Who are you?
Fancy seeing you here.
So I like to think that Dynasty is always a favorite to win every event, so every team's gunning for us.
DYNASD! Go, boys, right now.
We were playing, we started off great, won 2 games, and then all of a sudden we stalemated a game, and then we stalemated another one. I think we lost one, and next thing you know, we're like in the bottom seed for our division. This is kind of where everybody started. This is where paintball started. This is where Dynasty started. And I think that there's a lot of players out there that take the woods for granted because they only know the tournament side of paintball. I think the woods are an important aspect of our sport, not only because that's where it came from, but also I think a lot of people forget that like it's a lot easier for everybody to be a competitor out here in the woods. It's a 10-man event, so you can have a big roster. A lot of the guys who are kind of pushed out of that whole tournament side of things, they still want to compete. So in the woods is the best place to do it. You know, you have a 10-minute game, 10 guys are playing, so you can literally be alive the whole time, stalemate, and come out and be like, awesome, I didn't lose. So there's still a high level of competition. However, it's a lot more encompassing. And it hones your skills. I think it's really great on helping your communication out here. So we're actually getting a lot of good practice out of playing in the woods. And on top of that, you know, Dynasty's been around for almost 2 decades. And so it's great to be able to get back together with our old members of our team, Rodney, Glenn, Brad, Eric Hunter's out here, Andy Kopkock, who won World Cup in 2001. He played 1 tournament with us, and now he's back out here having fun with us out here in the woods. So it's a great way for us to all come together and just be a team again. And when we can't do that playing the NXL World Cup, you know, obviously we're not gonna have Glenn play with us out there. That'd be crazy. I believe Rodney signed us up for every single 10-man event because these guys, our old team guys, are having a blast doing this. And again, we're having fun getting back together with the old squad, the new squad. We're gonna try to get everybody some time out here.
Nobody's gonna get it because it's gonna stay in my pocket.
No one's gonna touch this flag. No one's gotten one yet. No one's gonna get one. We're gonna get all the flags. We're collecting everybody's name.
We've won all of them so far. We still made it adrenaline, but we did get pulled, so we technically haven't dropped the game. We control on destiny. Just got to get a couple more hangs and then hopefully make the semis and go on from there.
I'm Jacob Adcock. This is Caleb Adcock. Our father, Robin Adcock, was the captain of the original Sabre Wolves, started back in the middle 90s. We played for the kids team, kind of grew up playing alongside them out of Nashville. And a couple years ago when 10-man started back up, we found the opportunity to kind of take that and run with it again. We don't have a lot of big name players. We're just a bunch of buddies that started a long time ago. But as far as us as a team, we make up 7 states. You know, we never get to practice. That's not us. We're really just a bunch of close friends that grew up together that took like a 10 to 12 year break from paintball. So that every tournament's like a big family reunion. And it's so much fun just getting to see everybody, not just teammates, but the competitors as well. And we're excited to be here, look forward to the next events, and we're just gonna keep it rolling.
You guys take the next one.
Woo! We're a unique blend. These guys love the woods. I hate it. We have 17 or 18 guys on our roster. We have not had the same team at any 2 tournaments, including the little local 5-man stuff we've done. So every event has been a complete new mix of people that we've had to figure out who's playing where, this style, and figure out a way, okay, this field, this is the 10 that we have, how do we do that best? You know, like I said before, we don't have a lot of big name players. You go ask 90% of teams out here, they probably can't tell you a name of a player on this unless they know us directly. You know, we love that. We relish the fact that it's like, who are those guys?
I can't exactly for sure tell you the God's honest truth on this because I was trying to get all the action.
I heard Frank bitching about
Yeah,
it.
so if this is coming through, all A's are starting to lose dudes. Frank comes through and it looked like he had a hit or the ref was calling him out and then shit went wild.
There! He's shooting everyone! It's right there on the inside! Hey! What the hell was that shit? He just fucking shot him! He shot him first, Webb! He shot London too! Jimmy, you're good! Jimmy, you're good! Let's go right now!
Shoots him again, Frank fucking rears up, shoots Chris, and now they're motherfucking each other, going back and forth. Travis is just pumping Frank up from the back, just as many balls as you can put on his back. Frank's back is going like this as he's trying to scream at Chris.
Did old Frank come out?
Yeah, old Frank came out. Then Frank raises the gun up, shoots Chris again, and like it got wild. Ref comes over, grabs Chris's gun, Like, he's like, that's it. Literally pulls Frank's gun, not Chris's gun, grabs Frank's gun, pulls his gun off. He's like, you're coming with me, let's go. And then everyone just starts losing their shit, and everyone's playing the role perfect. Guys come out of the box, they're like, no, ref, that was not the call. And like, everyone's selling it back and forth. Oh, it was like classic 10-man over there.
What up, Nicky Cuba, here with Team Adrenaline. Just excited to be back, excited to be playing with my boys. We're having some fun. You're gonna be seeing us around. You know, we're just starting it over again. You know, we're all getting that taste back in the mouth to keep on playing. This is paintball. I mean, this is how it all started. You know, it was from the beginning, so it was awesome just to have this come back instead of it being, you know, the 5-on-5. 10-on-10 was just, you know, where it was. You know, you got just so many people to shoot. The game is totally different than, you know, what it is today, which both are awesome, but I love this one better. I've been friends with James and the guys of Adrenaline for many years. We went against each other when I was on Ground Zero. When I first started coming up being a teenager, Adrenaline was my first sponsor for a paintball gun. It was the best gun, you know, at the time when I shot it. That's what we're trying to bring back with, you know, the new age Adrenaline stuff. Me and James started working together outside of paintball. You know, we were telling stories back and forth, all the tournaments we went to, all the fun events, and we were like, we should try one. So we just got the team back together, grabbed some new guys. To be a good 10-man team, you gotta have diversity. You gotta have speed, you gotta have shooters, you gotta have communicators, and everyone has to be working together. It's gotta just be a cohesive unit. Old school, you know, people that have been playing it, they know how to do it. It's an old man's game. The way that Adrenaline plays, it's a little different than the old Adrenaline, you know, because we got new players. I'd say we have a variety, you know, because we have a Nicky Vegas who just wants to bomb and go run someone down. We got other guys that are controlled players, methodical thinking. We're a good mix right now. So it's everything that you need to be a complete team.
We got it all. Good job, Tom.
Tom Cole's dog. All right, good. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
I hate that shit.
I know. But you're pretty good at it. I know you don't like doing it. So every time I put a camera on you, you seem to say some good shit. Well, I mean, I do think about this stuff. Honestly, I'm not too picky. I don't mind a little Walker Black. That shit is bomb. You're the Walker Gold. That shit is really
Shit, Brad, you're wide open. I just went bang, bang. That was really 5 seconds ago, dumbass. Hey, that was a good game. Let's just. High as fuck. I wanted through your whole body and I shot you 3 times.
There's the captain of.
This guy. This guy.
And that's when he just fucking goes bananas and starts threatening to beat us in the parking lot, do whatever. Was that at the very end when the guy said, "Oh, you got it"?
Yeah, there you go, that's 1. There's 5 more. 2. The beer's being finished before it's over. There you go. 3. 4.
Get the fuck out!
Am I peeking out? How was it?
Right!
How's that? Better?
Hurting yet?
Yet to have our first practice. I think it's scheduled for in 4 years or so. So the only time we get to see each other is at events. We like to play, we like to have fun. We might not get enough sleep, we might not walk the field well enough, we might not have quite enough guns to play, but I think half the teams are in the same boat here, that we are ill-prepared, ill-informed, and having the time of our lives.
You know, this time we got a little practice beforehand together, so the team just gels better every time we play. Yeah, every paintball great and legend playing. At some point, you know, this weekend we might run into, you know, who's who of paintball.
What's up, everybody? Ryan Greenspan here from San Diego Dynasty, and the 2020 Paintball Combine is right around the corner. This is one of my favorite events of the season for a couple of reasons. First off, you get to knock off the rust and sharpen your skills for the 2020 season. On top of that, we'll have pro coaches from all over the nation here to mentor you along the way.
But you will also be assessed in a real live tournament situation by professional coaches that are able to sit there and watch you guys throughout the whole tournament and really dive in deep on what you need to do in actual gameplay.
Nowhere else on God's green earth can you get the focused attention of this many pros from all the top teams as they guide you through their tricks and tools of the trade. Simply put, it's a transfer of knowledge from one generation to the next, and I can't wait to see where these Combine attendees are in a few years. It would not surprise me at all to see the most tenacious of them on the pro field. Welcome to the BKI Summer Camp, a week-long immersive paintball training experience where the participants live side by side with some of the best players in the world, training every day with a unique set of drills created by the professors to extract and improve the best elements of their game.
Marcelo here. We're at day one of the summer camp. It is the introduction day. Everybody just flew in, so we're going to finish up eating, and then we're going to have a small little orientation, introduce everybody.
This is one of my favorite venues to come to all year long, so my wife kind of has to deal with it.
We really get to spend a lot of time working with you guys, building your paintball skills, your character development.
Hey, the big thing for me is you guys made the choice to be here, and that says a lot.
It's going to be a very intensive weekend. So again, if you get tired, don't worry about it. Come over, grab one of us, tell us you need a break or whatever it is. Make sure you guys drink a lot of water.
We're out here at the BKI Summer Camp. This is a 4-day long event where we go over everything you need to become a better paintball player. We like to break down each day to work on individual skill sets. So instead of trying to cram everything into 1 weekend of practice, we have a lot of time to really dive into everything as far as fundamentals, strategy, situational awareness, full game planning, absolutely everything.
What's up, guys? Greg Seaworth here. Just finished up our warm-ups here at the BKI Summer Camp. We went through a really solid paintball flow to warm up the hips, get those exaggerated movements in our stretch routine, just the way we perform them on the paintball field, so that we can help ourselves stay more motivated, stay loose, and build up some blood in the muscles to make them bigger, because the bigger it is, the more power it has. Then we got into some sprint techniques, so we really helped the guys learn how to accelerate without their gear, so now we're gonna have a chance to see them do it in gear with a little bit of pressure as we move into these drills.
So today, we're gonna be spending the whole day working on individual skills, doing a lot of one-on-one training, a lot of fundamental work, and then we will end with doing some 2-on-2 stuff to kind of incorporate a little bit of communication and get us ready for tomorrow, which will be a little more in-depth on more teamwork stuff, more strategy. But today is all fundamentals, like I said, and we're going to be doing everything we can to make people understand what they need to do to bring to their teams, as an individual.
So today's going to be a really tough one. Today's the grinder because there isn't a lot of team drills involved. With day one, we focus a lot on the fundamentals, a lot of 2-on-2 situations, a lot of individual snap shooting fundamental drills, and it's exhausting. You get a lot of reps. You're going to be on 2 different fields. We're going to run through 8 drills throughout the day. So today's going to be the tough one, but the guys will hold out. This is my section, right? And as long as I own this, I own the field. So by going inside, I've given that up. And why am I going here? If I don't want to be here, why did I risk dying going there not to be there?
This year we have a lot of returning campers from all age groups. I do think we have a little bit of a younger crowd this year, which is awesome. That's the future of the sport, so we're really excited to be working with them and basically building the next generation of tournament paintball players.
On Colton's team, last point, someone ran right in here off the break. Nobody saw it, but you hit this bunker, and it shakes like this, and they know instantly where you are. You just gave that huge advantage up.
So there's a couple of things here. One, we're having them sprint out, so they're kind of racing out to the tape side of the bunker.
and coming up. And what we're trying to show them here is that a lot of times, if you're paying attention to where the other player's shooting on the tape, a lot of times you can visually see the paintballs. So we're trying to gain dominance, keep them kind of simulated in a situation where it's do or die. They have to hold that tape and see where the paint's coming and change their body language. On top of that, the player that's going to win is the player that's staying out, shoots the other player, and if the other player tucks in, they actually lose. So it's the same thing as getting shot.
Game over, 10-6. Everybody pull it in. It's set up for you to shoot people and get shot. You're not allowed to tuck in. Okay, so what it's supposed to do is teach you to be super accurate with your first ball.
Shoot, right hand, come across, know where this target is, right? So I hit my spot and I cut in. Okay? A lot of paintball is like that. I have to run directly out wide.
Think through everything as people are going. Think about running there and stopping, running back, cutting, stopping, right? Because if you have to go there, stop, go, wait a minute. Oh yeah, in a game that guy's gone, the opportunity's gone, right? Think about being fluid. Cool? Let's fire it up, line it up.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of times when guys are trying to dial in their running and gunning technique early in their career, they're trying to go too fast, so their barrel's all over the place, their body doesn't look in control. So it's a matter of getting guys to slow down a step, take it at 50 to 75%, really dial in the skill set, and then take it up to 90 and 100%.
We're doing a 4-on-4 running and shooting drill. We have a runner going to each corner, shooting at the back center, and the back center's running, and the back center's shooting at the runners. The back centers can't go anywhere. They have to stay there and shoot, and the runners are only going out to the corners, shooting at the back center. As soon as they get to the corners, the drill's done.
So I'm Ben Yates, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. This is my first year here at the camp. So far it's been incredible. We've been going through a lot of technical stuff, dealing with a lot of theory as well. It's been incredible so far. Just the first day, I'm already blown away. I actually really like the 2v2 here, where we had one strong side stacked and then the other team had a spread field. That really forced people to think a lot.
Hey guys, my name's Tyler. I'm out here with my first year at BKI. So far it is an absolute blast. Worth every single penny. I've learned just so much in just the first day.
Oh, the day was beautiful. There was all these paintball nutrients just raining down, and whoever's ready to slurp some of that magic up, then they just got some, you know, and a lot of experimentation today, a lot of playing around, experimenting with trying this or that, so a lot of mistakes made, but I love making mistakes and be like, okay, that's a no zone, and then this is a go zone, so yeah, dude, it was so fire. I mean, you can never get a more nutrient-rich paintball experience than the BKI camp.
Man, day one of this summer camp has been so significantly different from the last. One is the players that are back from last year are so much more advanced. It's amazing what they've accomplished in a year. A lot of them that are returning are on the U19 USA team. So right away off the break, all the fundamental drills that we were doing, we found ourselves having to complicate them, make them more like the drills that we're doing ourselves, because it was too simple for them. So the guys held up really well. It was a hot day. They worked through it really hard. We added an extra set to the end of the day, and they're all in one piece, so they're ready to hit dinner. That session was really good. It kind of emphasizes all the stress points in paintball, all around the hips, and a lot of the connection points around the knee. So we're kind of creating that mobility before we start being more explosive. So now that we got everyone going, we're gonna put them into a race scenario so that we can actually see how fast these guys are after they get the warm-up. I mean, this warm-up is all about injury prevention, right? We throw ourselves into the ground as fast as we can, so making sure that our joints are able to move all those crazy directions that we perform in paintball is super important. So this was all about training mobility.
What's going on?
Is coming for day 2.
You got it, dude. Now they're starting back there, right? So before the game even starts, make sure that you guys communicate around who's looking inside, right? Who's playing the wire. Yeah, so this is the caddy corner drill. So basically we've got one guy starting in snake 1, one guy starting in the snake corner. Then we've got the other team starting in the Dorito corner and the Dorito 1.
What's up, everybody? Ryan Greenspan here from San Diego Dynasty, out at day 2 of training. Casual Friday here at the BKI Summer Camp. and we are going to be doing a handful of new drills today, finishing up a couple of 2-on-2 things, and then we're going to go into a red zone tournament. And after the red zone tournament is over, we're going to go take these kids into the woods and show them how paintball is really played, focusing on communication really, and just having fun. You know, this is a fun environment, and that's what we're out here to do. It's gonna be a little bit of a short day today, and then we're gonna go into Tour Boston downtown on a little duck boat. So pretty exciting day. I'm stoked. Everybody's having a good time. They woke up a little stiff and sore this morning, but then, which was kind of nice to our plan because we just had a big race out there, and Greg and I smoked everybody in the clinic. So stay tuned for some more fun. And we are doing one of Dynasty's favorite drills. This is something that I do at almost all of my clinics because it's incredibly exciting to play and incredibly exciting to watch. We are doing the red zone drill. The way it works is it's a one-on-one team-oriented drill because too often when we go and travel to events and clinics and everything, all the players want to think about is who's the best one-on-one player. However, paintball is a team-oriented sport, and for that matter,
Welcome to the 2020 Sunshine Classic. I'm Matty Marshall up here with Colt Roberts from San Antonio X Factor, and it is about to go down here center court, the hybrid field. We're at Central Florida Paintball, the very first event of this season. Colt, you guys had a momentous year last year, you know, winning the series championship, and now you're playing with adrenaline here for 10-man. So I'm looking forward to today. We're going to get to the top 9 this afternoon and see who's going to win this tournament. I really like how this field is is playing. We got AC Empire taking on Fox 4 Darkside right now, and here we go into the first point. Fox 4 Darkside is on the left, AC Empire is on the right, and it looks like, you know, Colt, that tank is incredibly important. Everyone really has been making it no problem off the break. Only 3 people died all day yesterday trying to take that spot.
Yeah, that surprises me. It looks like there's a lot of open lanes running out, you know, in the slot bunkers, shooting up the middle, but yeah, it seems like people are just making it at will.
So right now, both squads, pretty good break. Fox 4 Darkside on the left-hand side, AC Empire on the right-hand side. Yeah, the referee in there checking out that tank. Tank is clean for Fox 4.
Have you seen a lot of people be able to go around and do that guy?
A couple, yeah. A couple have been able to go around and get that guy. Both sides, too. They've gone through around on the sub side and over on the snake side, just kind of contingent on who's looking where and when.
Right.
Definitely seen a decent amount of situations where both teams have made it to the tank. Far side was sending 2 bodies off the break to the tank. They made it both times.
Was that effective, or did they get kind of stuck on the island there?
One time it was effective, and then the other time they both lost gunfights pretty much right around the same time.
Gotcha.
So kind of just, you know, bad gunfighting in that situation. I mean, it's not the most potent bunker on the field. It's the biggest bunker on the field, but it just kind of sets the tone and the pace for that specific match.
Yeah, it looks like it slows down both sides, depending on where you're looking.
These teams just feeling each other out right now, and I don't see a body drop.
No, I think it's 10 on 10. I mean, both these teams have, you know, current level professional players on them. I think you're gonna see a lot more tactical gunfighting.
Yeah, AC Empire, obviously, you know, coming to the AC Dallas camp. You're very familiar with those guys. You had lots of battles with, you know, also some Texas boys. And Fox 4 Darkside has a bunch of Revo players on it. So both these teams are pretty stacked and should fare pretty well this year in the ICPL.
Yeah, we actually played both these teams yesterday. They're both playing pretty good.
How'd you guys do yesterday?
We dropped to AC. That was our very first game, and then we beat Fox 4 Darkside.
So move being made right now for AC Empire, getting up into the tank to match the move from Fox 4 Darkside. Fox 4 Darkside on the left, AC Empire on the right.
Still haven't seen any movement on the snake or really on the Dorito side. They're kind of still in their primary spots.
Yeah, you know, that sub side, that Dorito side this field honestly is not a mystery anymore. There's 2 tournaments we've seen out here. Yes, they changed and added a few bunkers to make the trench side a little bit more potent, but it's definitely tank first and then snake and then either the sub side or the trench.
Right.
But the teams that are playing it well are swarming down the field and making all those positions.
So do you think it's super advantageous to be in the snake first? I mean, usually it is, but not in every field.
It's not necessarily, it's not a win or loss type move, but similar to having the tank, it just really forces your opponents to have to worry about you. So the teams that are getting into that snake, we did see a pretty interesting battle yesterday when John Dresser was battling against Rocky Cagnoni in the snake, but John was actually the one playing the aggressor, and Farside, they did win that game.
Right.
And a lot of it was because John prevailed at the snake.
Okay.
So it can be a very effective spot if you play well.
Right.
That's the asterisk on that one. But Colt, I'm sure you're going to be fine.
Yeah,
you're pretty good at the paintball. There is a first body to drop, and it's going to be Fox 4 dark side. So AC still has that body at the tank, and he's looking here towards the snake and the trench side.
Is that Ryan Hall up in the center? I think he went around and actually did him on the Dorito side and came back.
Yeah, Ryan Hall. I mean, he's good at that. That's
good.
one of the best elements of his game. He's aggressive. He's got really good. The way his mind works in those pressure situations up at the 50s is impressive.
He does. He seems to do very well up the middle. He's one of the better. And he's a younger guy. I don't think he has a whole lot of experience, but he seems to do really well.
So now Paulie's going to make a move out of the backfield. Another big key component to this field is once you do get penetration, you get the field, your back players have to stay close.
Right.
Because a lot of times teams will stalemate because their back players have to reposition and they'll lose a couple of their front players, and it'll take them a minute or two to try to figure that out, even if they can do it.
Right. Well, it looks like Darkside made a move out here to the snake tape. He ended up getting picked off that center tank, so it's kill 2 for AC Empire.
Yeah, 8 on 10 currently. AC on the right-hand side, looking pretty good. Now a move being made over on the sub side as well. A couple of them repositioning on some secondaries and staying alive in their spots. So AC here, it's a brisk and cold morning out here in Florida.
Right.
Not words you normally put together in a sentence.
I was surprised how chilly it was.
Yeah, it's 47. Actually, it's like 45 when we woke up.
Okay, AC's now made it into the snake. Very methodical play from AC, but that's indicative of their normal style.
Absolutely. This is pretty standard AC paintball right here. You know, try to take some good positions. You know, make that one move,
right,
which they did with the tank. And again, that is how this field is playing. That typically is the first place to go. Then slowly but surely make their way up the field, be smart about it, stay alive, and they're in a good spot right now. They're in the snake. They're in snake 1. They still have the tank with, I think, Ryan Hall, and now another move being made up on that sub side. So things are looking really good right now here for AC. They got some time to work with, 6 minutes and 46 seconds left to go. And there you can see Ryan Hall up at that 50-yard line. He still is looking towards the sub side.
Have you seen a lot of stalemates on this field, or these
A handful,
okay.
Definitely, yeah. There was more of the amateur teams because like we were talking about, they weren't putting themselves in the right position to close at the right time.
Yep.
Guys in the back still too much, not knowing the count.
Right.
Weren't following their front players up. Front players would get in a good spot and then have a possible couple kills and then die stupid, that sort of stuff.
Like you said, we had the center push, snake, then they fill it, and now on the sub side on the Dorito, and all their back guys are kind of closing the distance between. So it looks like they're playing this exactly like you said.
They are. They're playing it really perfect. And the teams that are playing well out here, and now they're swarming.
Yep.
This is AC is playing this field exactly how you're supposed to play this field if you want to do well and win with high bodies.
Looks like there was a big run through on the Dorito side over there too on the sub side.
Yeah, another body, 2 more bodies coming off here for Fox 4 dark side. So they are really going to have to try to win some gun battles here as AC has all the 50s.
It's like a 9-on-4 here.
Yeah, they barely lost any bodies. It's looking really, really good right now for AC. They're playing this field about as perfect as you can play it. Now they're past the 50-yard line on the sub side of the field. Probably be good to talk it up a little bit right now and try to figure out where these last bodies are.
Paulie just made the sub, 50 over there, making a big move up the tape. I think they got 6 guys across the 50.
Yeah. So this is when the good teams start to shine. This close can be a little hectic sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like it can be.
But they're doing it smart. They're in the trench. The trench is a key component to closing on this field. So he's gone all the way down. And the bodies are starting to drop. Yeah, Fox 4 Darkside is just struggling to stay alive this morning here. But AC pretty flawless in this first match.
Looks like they're going to finish with 6 alive, maybe 7.
Yeah, so that's about as good as it's going to get out here. We're probably going to see the team that wins the tournament play just like AC Dallas did here on this particular field. Do you like this field, Colt?
I do. Yeah, I haven't played it yet. Walked it earlier. It looks like a super exciting field. It's tactical, but it's still aggressive, and I like that in a 10-man field. And it looked like AC played that pretty much perfect. Looking pretty good. What do you think as far as the other games? They look pretty strong?
As far as the AC compared to the other teams that are playing well out here, that was about as good as it can look.
Okay.
I think probably Cat Factory looked, not just because we played on Cat Factory, but as far as teams that looked good out here yesterday, I feel Cat Factory looked the best.
Okay.
Ground Zero Gold also looked really pretty solid as well, too. Weren't quite swarming as much as Cat Factory was. Cat Factory looked up essentially like AC Dallas just did right now.
Right
Chad Bougier was playing very well in the trench, and pretty much everyone in Cat Factory. Brandon Lambertson had the best move that I saw in the tournament so far.
Is he playing with Cat Factory?
Yeah.
That's good to see him out here. Does he have blonde hair?
Does not have blonde hair anymore.
Man.
I know, I pulled his hat off. I said the same thing. He still has his hair, though. So. We also got Tom Cole, the president of the NXL here this morning. How you doing, Tom? So next up here on this field is going to be Ground Zero 24K and Aerosol Factory about to throw down. Looks like Aerosol going to be on the left-hand side, and Ground Zero 24K is going to be on the right-hand side.
Now, is this an amateur team?
Yeah, it's staggered back and forth between pros.
Okay.
So that was the, obviously, you guys played them pros and then now amateurs, and it just goes back and forth. AC Dallas, or AC Empire just played Fox 4 Dark Side. Yeah. And AC Empire looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much played the field perfectly. They took all the spots first. Fox 4 was kind of on the heels the whole time. And like you said, Matty was telling me earlier when we were kind of walking the field that this just doesn't play well defensive. And it definitely looked like that. They took all the positions, kind of had the momentum the entire game, and looked good.
Yeah, so far it seems like the team that takes the moves first ends up winning the game.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. So Tom, have we decided on a Texas venue?
We have.
Because everybody's asking.
Wow, so I'm going to get in trouble now probably. But it's Round Rock.
Round Rock. Oh,
Round
closer
Rock.
to home. I like that. Let's just hope we don't have another ice bowl like we did.
God. So now everybody's going to have to watch the ICPL webcast so they can find out what's going on with the NXL.
That's right.
But yeah, we're going to Round Rock.
Okay.
It's, we're going in a much nicer time of year than
God, remember how cold that one was?
I didn't go to that one, but it was miserable.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Everyone tells me about it.
Yeah, it was one of those days in Texas where you show up and you're wearing board shorts day one, and day two it's 38 degrees.
And kind of sleet and wind.
Yeah, that was one of those. Yeah, it was a miserable event.
And that's just
It's
not
fun
Texas
tournament. It was
weather.
just miserable.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Weeks before that, nothing, just gorgeous, and then all of a sudden.
That's the story of my life for an event.
Paintball guys.
Beautiful during setup, and then as soon as Thursday rolls around.
Well, we always talk about how I feel that when a paintball tournament's being set up, it's kind of like a Hopi rain dance.
Yeah.
So as it's being assembled, the gods are like, oh, the paintball tournament's happening right here. All right, let's send them some weather. So this next game should be starting here shortly, and it is Aerosol Factory and Ground Zero 24K. Ground Zero brought an army to this event, as they typically do.
I almost played with Will Arroyo on the other Ground Zero team.
Yeah, so how did you get on Adrenaline?
I've known Nicky Vegas for a long time, and he just was like, hey, you interested in playing? I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And then I heard Cuba was on the team. Unfortunately, he's not here, but Cuba's also a great dude. And then Brandon Unger, I've known him for quite a time, competing against him in the NXL, and he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, there's a lot of good dudes on Adrenaline.
Yeah, they are. It's been a lot of fun, which is key.
Well, you guys will be playing out here in a little bit. Looks like a terrible
Ooh,
start
both
for
teams.
Yeah,
Looks like
so
they're waving it off.
Yeah, they're gonna wave it off. So a bad break here for both squads. So the referees are gonna restart it, which is, I think, the correct move here.
Yeah.
You only have so many games to work with. You don't want to have a disaster of a break. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like a pretty, not the greatest break here. For I don't know. Maybe they missed.
I mean, he didn't blow the whistle. I don't know why a team started.
I'm not sure either. Looked like about 6 of the Aerosol guys were on the gate.
Yeah. I was looking over at Ground Zero, and they looked a little puzzled when a whistle went, like looking around each other like, wait, the game's on? And half of them ran out, half of them did it.
Yeah, you don't ever start. If it's a bad start, you just don't go.
Yeah, look confused at the referee and put your hand up, and then they'll be like, okay, we'll
Because if
restart
you
it.
half start, we might just run it.
Yeah.
We have a schedule to keep.
So yeah, we're gonna have some good games out here on center court. This hybrid field it's been fun to watch. I really feel like there's a lot of aggressive options out here, as was just displayed by AC Empire, who played this field about as well as you can play it, which if they make it through will bode very well for their chances to go deep to the tournament. This is where
it's looking like they will make it. Yeah. Right now it's
they had 2 stalemates yesterday.
Yeah, but I think they're in a spot where they're pretty safe. Somebody else in our division that's doing well. It's kind of right here, the third spot's us and Master Blasters. Kind of depending, all A's are doing well also. So depending on our 2 matches will really depend on if we make it on or not.
Okay, so it's must-win situation for Adrenaline
Definitely
today.
against Master Blasters, must win, and 90% must win against all A's. So we need to win both of them.
Okay.
We're 3-1-1 right now.
Okay.
But it's just
I feel
tight.
like a lot of teams dropped some or had some stalemates.
Yep. There's been quite a few stalemates, and we lost our game against AC Empire.
So, and again, oh, look at this. So this is the 4th time this weekend that somebody died
going to the
tank off the break. So, yeah, either teams are going to be able to continue to take that, or their opponents will find a way to shoot that guy out more efficiently, because yesterday people just did not have that shot down that much. But,
Well, I talked to some teams yesterday, and they found that not being aggressive definitely affected them, because we saw some teams come out slow their first game and then come out super aggressive the second game.
Yeah.
And they said it was a conscious decision because they could tell that you just weren't going to win unless you were taking some ground.
Yeah, defense wasn't really working out here yesterday, so I'm assuming that today, now that people know the field even better, that defense is also still not going to work out here. But I think we only saw one game where a team came out with, it was the Ironmen came out with a pretty defensive game plan against Armada, but they just won 6 gunfights. So Armada just died out of their spots, and the Ironmen just won it that way.
Right.
Not having to make any, big, bold moves forward. So right now, though, you got Ground Zero, 24K on your right, Aerosol Factory on the left. And Aerosol did lose that first body, but other than that, it's pretty clean break. So it looks like a 10-on-9 situation. The advantage going to Ground Zero, 24K.
Aerosol does have a good spot on that sub side. He looks like he's about 1 bunker out from getting that 50. And when I was walking the field over there, it looks like if you make that sub, you're kind of uncontested on that tape.
That sub is that's how Davey Simmons was the MVP for Chicago Aftershock here in October when they won this tournament just a couple months ago. And
Aerosol just dropped in the guy on the sub side.
So now down to 8. But yes, that sub side is, if you can get up there, it's just kind of hard to get in there. If you don't take it, so this is great for Aerosol Factory. They do have a body at the 40. And now it looks like Ground Zero is going to
double the tank.
Yeah, rumble up and take the tank here. So
didn't they have, I thought they had another guy in there already.
No, that's the first body for Ground Zero. Aerosol tried to take it and lost that body.
It's because they got a bad break and they saw he was going there.
Yeah,
he ran the whole way there on that false start.
So, man, pulled audible on the game plan.
Like,
they know I'm going there. I'm like, I'm going to change it up. Well, he made it on the secondary, so it is a key spot. It just, if you have to deal with that guy. He has to get bunkered out or he has to lose a gunfight. If you can't let somebody live there, there's going to be some problems. He is going to slow one side of the field down.
Looks like quite a few of the teams are doubling that rollie over there. Fox 4 did that last game.
That is happening quite a bit. I'd say maybe 50–40% of the time teams are doubling up. That's the launching pad for the snake.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You send 2 there, first guy gets in the snake, and then he's got a guy right behind him.
What's nice, you can stand over the top of that thing and actually see.
Yeah, it's also when it's going bad for teams, that sometimes is the last player left alive.
Right.
So, yeah, good position still for Aerosol on that sub side of the field with that 40-yard line. He has to deal with the tank. The tank for Ground Zero is focusing his gun that way.
Another Aerosol just got eliminated the mid on the snake side, but they do now have a guy in the ditch as well.
I don't think anybody saw him, did they?
No, they got him, yeah.
Okay,
the guy at the rollie seems to be shooting at him. So it will be interesting because Aerosol's now lost 3 guys, but they're still playing more aggressive than Ground Zero.
Right.
We'll see if this pays out for them.
Well, they definitely need to tighten it up. Survivability is costing them some
They
bodies right now.
definitely don't know where he's at in the ditch.
Yeah, there's some paint coming into this ditch,
definitely.
But I think they were.
Yeah, the tough thing about the trench is that once you do get to this spot, I mean, he doesn't have anyone down the sideline to worry about, so that's pretty crucial. That's why having this this tree is really effective. The bunker right behind the trench.
Ground Zero just took the sub from a long launch.
Going in to check him though.
Long launch point.
And he dies coming out. Okay.
So that's a crucial kill here for Aerosol because Aerosol still has that body at the 40-yard line, and they have a body here in the trench at the 50. Now, it does look like Ground Zero has picked him up as they are starting to flood paint through that lane. He did get out of he did pop up from this spot and try to get a shot on the inside. He doesn't have to worry about anyone down the sideline. It would probably help Ground Zero out if they could get out wide here. This is why it's crucial to have a body at this tree.
Absolutely.
Aerosol's dropped another body on that sub side. I don't know where he came from.
Yeah, I think he came from the spot right behind the 50, right on that 40-yard line, which that hurts them because he was in a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Aerosol really needs this guy in the trench to produce kills, but unfortunately for him, this isn't the best place to do that when you don't have that many bodies behind you and no one's putting pressure on the people in front of you, because he's not going to be able to put pressure. He might be able to pop up and get a couple shots off, but he literally has two guns are completely dedicated to looking his way right now. Because the turret is looking his way and the roller is looking his way. So he kind of just has to hope his back guys can stay alive, because they're losing a lot of players out of their spots right now, Aerosol Factory. So he's feeling the pressure. The trench is now.
Ground Zero just took the sub again.
Now, have you seen anybody fill from the trench into the snake?
No, I haven't.
No, we haven't seen that. We saw that at the last event.
Yeah, I would say it seems like an easy move, but I haven't seen it really happen.
Looks like he's trying to back out of there, realizes he doesn't really have any shots.
Oh, he just caught one. That is, yeah, it's a tough spot. I mean, he was trying, he was working for it, but that's, yeah, some Ground Zero gold is winning this game on gunfights alone, pretty much. And they have taken some ground, but that, I mean, their gunfights is what's been the difference. They've kept more bodies alive, and Aerosol Factory has slowly been whittled down.
Yeah, I don't think they know this ditch guy's gone. They seem to keep their guns going.
Yeah, it looks like multiple guys are still posted on it.
I mean, he had a real slow. He got up real slow. He walked off real slow. I'm surprised they didn't pick that kill up, but they are definitely focusing this way. Like, this trench is still hot.
What's the time we got left?
Doesn't look like our clock started, so I'm not exactly sure. It can't be that much time.
No. But these are 12-minute games, which is an eternity.
Yes, I do like, because when we played in Chicago and we had 10 minutes, I'd love that they added the 2 minutes, because if you're playing a team, if you're a good team and you're playing a team that feels that maybe their best strategy is to try to lock up and, and chop you up when you push forward, it helps to have a couple more minutes to dig people out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but compared to an X-Ball match, yes, it feels like forever.
It feels like a long time.
Yeah, right.
Such just a different feel. You know, playing the woods yesterday, I was crawling through that ravine, and you just, you know, you hear all this movement and talking, and you don't know if it's your guys, you don't know if it's a ref. You're just popping up, start shooting everything.
That's what makes it fun.
That definitely makes it fun.
Were you in the ravine? Is that where you went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went up that far tape, and then I dipped down into the ravine to close the game.
It looks like Josh Turbin has got into the trench here for Aerosol.
Looking fly with his carbon gear.
Yeah. So Turbin's peeking up over the top. That's, I mean,
So
you
his
have
last guy caught it.
Yeah, he caught it from that side. So he's going to pop up and try to get a shot.
It's good, though. He seemed to know to put that tree between him and the rollie.
Yeah, definitely. See, I think GZ just knew the whole time they were going to refill it. That's why they stayed focused this way.
Well, here comes the move up in the center for Aerosol. I'm going to try to bunker out the tank, and it doesn't look like he's able to trade. That's just some tough dust out here for.
I mean, he went gun up 6 steps past the 50.
Yeah, he
you
did.
got to put some paint on a guy if you're going to take that risk.
Absolutely. So Turbin's in a bad spot here. I mean, it's a good spot, but you know, he's losing tons of guys behind him. But at least he's rolling the dice and trying to do something. Definitely. I mean, there's nothing else really he can do, because hiding in the back has not worked out here. He's got to keep that pack down, though, as balls are starting to come in over the top of that berm.
Yeah, that's a pretty precarious situation.
Yeah,
he's the last guys.
Yeah, you don't want to be face down when you're one of the last guys.
Yeah, it could be a rough one for good old Josh Turbin right here. He could get bunkered out of here at some point. But Ground Zero doesn't really look like they're in a hurry to go anywhere.
No, they're pretty content sitting in their spots.
Yeah, I mean, they still have, Ground Zero's lost some bodies too, but they still have the tank. Now the tank's going to transition over to the double cutout and then try to put some more pressure here on Turbin and the Snake. But he is shredding paint right now. It's like a Black & Decker power washer coming out of the front of his barrel. Yeah, get closer.
Yeah.
Fix bayonets, man.
Yep. Now, I don't see any other Aerosol players alive. Oh, well, there's one moving up at the sub side now.
Well, I got to give it to Aerosol.
They're definitely playing aggressive.
They are playing more aggressive. Their back players need to tighten it up. But
they got assault in the name. I guess they're going to assault.
Yeah, right. But they have that 40 now on the sub side again. And he's going to He's going to get up and go. Now Turbin's going to fully commit and jump across, and I don't think they were able to pick him up.
And we got another big move coming through the center.
Hey, at least Turbin
at
tried to make it happen. And
Look
here comes, look at this big move. Comes through the center.
Oh, God. That was going to be clutch.
That was, yeah.
He got himself a 2-pack. And now here comes the counterattack from Ground Zero 24K to try to finish this thing out.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Ground Zero's blown up in that that subside as well, too. And they still have 4 bodies left alive.
Looks like 5. There's a guy clearing the field on the subside.
Yeah, so this
should be it.
Hey, the last couple players, they rolled
played,
the dice.
yeah, they came.
The big man ran up the center and got a 2-pack. I don't know how they let him do that run
and
through.
the snake guy finally makes a snake and then shoots his own guy, or at least shoots at his own guy.
Pandemonium out here.
And has he got a giant hit in his back?
He does have
It
a
does
giant
look
hit
like
in
he
his
has a giant hit in his back. Oh, now he's going to call himself out.
That,
Oh,
you can't
Lord.
do that.
No. Here comes a should be a blanket.
Yeah,
party.
they're getting them. They're getting them.
Yeah,
they're
here
getting
comes a
them.
couple
They're
more.
getting them.
I'm wondering how many guys are they going to pull out, because I think the guy with the hit on his back shot his own guy. They had 4 players left, so then he's hit, and then now they come and pull a penalty, and if it's a major and they pull more than 1, they might not have any bodies left alive to hang it. It's a disastrous
That was
end.
kind of indicative of Billy's play against the Russians for us last year.
Oh, yeah.
Sam was here. He'd be giving the
bronze
Franz
Franz
to this guy for that
guy
one.
definitely gets the bronze Franz, the Brown Barrel Award.
We've all done funny stuff like that.
Oh, of course.
I tanked myself yesterday, so I can't say anything.
How did
my tongue
how did
off.
how did that happen? Just dove on it?
It's just, it's precarious over in the woods, man. There's valleys and ditches and stumps, and I just went diving into their 40 and caught my foot on something and, pole vaulted my barrel on the ground, tank right into the chin, bit my tongue, started spitting blood. I was like, well, my tongue's all still there. I can talk. I'm all right.
Oh, man. Well, I'm glad your tongue's still here.
Yeah.
So next up is going to be Rhythm taking on Desert Edge. 2 more pro teams coming out here.
I haven't seen Rhythm play yet.
We haven't seen. So today we're watching. If you guys are just joining us, thank you so much. We're here at the very first event of the 2020 season, the Sunshine Classic. Love what the ICPL has been doing with these 10-mans. A bigger event here than we had at the last one, so it is growing. This is really good to see.
There's a lot of good players out here.
Yeah.
I look at the teams and I'm like, man, there's not a whole lot of easy teams in the pro division.
And then you'll look at the name of a team. Like, I mean, Adrenaline's obviously a good team. They've won a tournament.
Sure.
They won the first ICPL. But when I was walking around day 1 trying to figure out who's on what team, and then you came up, they're like, Colt Roberts playing for Adrenaline. I'm like, man, everyone's on all these different teams. I got to figure out who's who. But yes, it is the laundry list of some legends out here playing for a lot of these different squads.
It's really cool to have like the current pros playing with guys that we looked up to in the past. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's also great to see guys like Brandon Unger, who never played. Like I saw him in Chicago.
He didn't even know who you were when I asked him.
So when I saw Brandon in Chicago, and I would say to the younger guys, I'm like, hey, you ever played any woodsball? Did you grow up playing woodsball? And sometimes I get different answers. When I asked Ryan Hall that question at ICC 2 years ago, he was like, I grew up playing woodsball. I'm a woodsball player. I know what I'm doing out here. I was like, okay, cool. That's
I never
good to
played
know.
that. I started tournament paintball from the get-go.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about that on the show, and because
I've never played woods.
But that was shocking to me because the grittiness that you bring to the game, I would have thought you grew up, getting smashed by the old guys and then starting to smash people. No. I know you got smashed by the old guys.
Addicted.
Yes. No, I narrated the documentary.
Yeah.
I remember all about it. But I thought that I was thinking, man, Colt Roberts just seemed like such a woodsball guy.
Yeah.
And then when you told me that you started right away playing in tournaments, I was actually a little shocked. Because
I
I feel
like
like you
woodsball.
love woodsball.
I do, absolutely. It's
I
great.
feel like everybody from Texas grew up playing woodsball.
That's
right?
what I
don't
thought,
know
too.
why. It's just like
I thought the same
California,
thing.
not so much. Texas, I feel like y'all just grew up playing.
Nope. In California, we grew up playing
I
woodsball
know,
too.
but Texas is where I think it's at.
Yeah. So, but it was cool to see a guy like Brandon Unger, who had never been exposed to this type of the game, to come and play and fall in love with it.
Absolutely.
So now jumping into this first point here, as it is going to be Rhythm on the left and Desert Edge on the right. So Desert Edge with a pretty good break. Didn't see a very conservative break for Desert Edge. They're doubling up a lot of spots in the
Looks like they
backfield
got
right now.
Desert Edge got a G1 on the sub side for Rhythm. Took out a Rhythm player.
So Rhythm did make the center tank.
Yeah, they did take the tank.
Yeah, we played Desert Edge yesterday and stalemated them on the woods field. They're not a bad team.
Yeah, they've been around. It's another team that's been playing this format for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're always on the list. When I look at the teams that show up to play these 10-mans, Desert Edge is always on the list.
That's cool.
They just lost the sub guy as well, Desert Edge did, so it's 9 on 9 now. doubled up the rollie.
Yeah, they doubled up the turret and the roller over here. So they definitely have the bodies to try to get out wide on the snake and trench side of the field. Having this tree behind the trench is a pretty crucial spot.
I kind of think that's an advantage to this side. I don't know, I haven't played it yet, but I think that tree
to the right-hand side?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm glad they added some more bunkers over here. It just makes this side a lot more playable, but it neutralizes this move. If you're not out wide and somebody does get in the trench and they know what they're doing, or they get in the snake, they just have a lot more ability to play the game. There's not as much pressure on them.
We got both teams are in the snake now, which is pretty cool.
Referee going to come in and check out player for Desert Edge.
It looks like hitting the head.
Yeah, he's got a big, huge beacon on the top of his head, so he's going to come off. So that's another kill. So it's
Might pull another one? Nope. Okay.
8 players alive right now for Desert Edge, and Rhythm has a body at this 50-yard line snake. So, you know, Colt, like we were talking about, the strategy for this field.
Right.
The tank's the first one to go, then the snake, and then the sub, and then the
snake guy
trench.
just came up and eliminated a guy right away.
That's if, I was just going to say, that's if everyone stays alive and does what they're supposed to do. But Desert Edge, like Tom was just saying, just lost another body. Survivability, it's crucial in paintball. I mean, obviously, you want to stay alive, but we've definitely watched a decent amount of guys get chewed up out of their gunfights from these back spots at this tournament.
Rhythm guy on the sub side definitely just got chewed up. You said that in impeccable time.
Yeah,
he dove about 50 foot behind his bunker and just got chewed up.
Yeah, this sand, you don't really glide on the sand too much.
No, you stick.
Nope.
Yeah.
You need to start your dive as close to the bunker as you possibly can.
Absolutely. I prefer the dive and roll maneuver.
We've seen a decent amount of diving and rolling out here this weekend too.
Did you see that I had Lucian out to the house last weekend? And,
No, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Lucian Blackburn. What a great guy.
He came out and we actually played some paintball. It was Archie, myself, Ryan Brand, Lucian, and one of the local guys named Alex. And we played a little X-ball, and of course, I was razzing Lucian the whole time about how he's probably lost. He hadn't probably played in 10, 12 years since trauma.
Yeah.
And very first point, of course, he's running down, sticking people. Next point, running down, sticking people.
Like
literally the first 4 points.
Like riding a bike for him?
Yeah, absolutely. Granted, we're playing D3 and D4 guys, but
still.
Yeah, but still. So he's got the itch again. So definitely look for him to possibly make a comeback.
Well, Lucian was one of my favorite players to watch because he just had so much fire inside of him.
Absolutely.
Perfect paintball size, real fast, real aggressive. It was really fun. I get played against him a bunch too, and he was always really hard to kill.
Kind of unorthodox. Kind of play positions a lot of people didn't play.
Well, and also he'd be the guy that would just make the move at the time when you didn't think he was going to make the move, and all of a sudden you weren't on that lane because you're like, this guy's not going to make the move. Oh God, Lucian just got into the 50 again. I feel like Lucian, because he has such a gigantic chip on his shoulder when he plays this game, which makes it fun to watch and hard to play against, he'd love 10-man. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he would too. He's actually been talking about that. He wants to get back into tournament paintball. So.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to come and play the NXL, and I've heard this a lot of 10-man guys that do play the NXL, but it's hard to commit to a full season because to a really good team.
Sure.
You can go play D4, whatever. It's a great time. But if you want to be competitive, you have to make 2 practices before you go to an event. That's the hard thing to do. The tournaments aren't even as hard as making all the practices.
It's kind of hard to make a team too.
Exactly.
A little bit.
Yeah. Especially if you want to be on a good team. But 10-man guys, you can just show up and play the tournament, so it's less of a time commitment. So this is why I'm just glad that this is part of the sport again.
Sure.
Because it's a good entry point for a lot of guys that, you know, maybe they got 2, 3 kids, they got a job, whatever it is. You know, whatever's keeping you from a full commitment to like a good program where you have to make 2, 3 practices before every event. We see a lot of those guys out here playing 10-man now.
So his Desert Edge seems to not. The guy in the rollie seems to be shooting at the guy in the ditch, even though there's not a guy in the ditch, and let the snake guy just...
Well, at least Desert Edge took this tree, which is a pretty key spot considering that Rhythm has a 50-yard line snake. So that he's got somebody he needs to worry about who's out wide.
If this guy can start maybe wrapping around,
yeah,
sneak one in on this guy.
Yeah. Because
Doesn't look like he's taking any pressure.
Yeah, I took the words right out of my mouth. He's not feeling any pressure back there. No one's really shooting at this player for Desert Edge at the tree. And now they're starting to put some pressure on him. Yeah, this definitely a little bit of a slower developing game for Desert Edge right now because they have to worry about Rhythm's player here at this 50-yard line snake. But this is why the snake's important.
Right.
You're not necessarily going to get a ton of kills from here right away, but being there sets up all your next moves.
Sure. So Rhythm needs to really counter on that sub side, kind of open it up a little bit.
Absolutely. And as we pan over here, you can see their Rhythm has that body at that 50-yard line, Snake. They also have a body at the turret, and then they have that body at that tree out wide. That's the guy that's putting pressure at his mirror down the sideline, because Desert Edge does have this body out wide in the insert bunker behind the trench. Things have tightened up too. We haven't seen a body come off in a while.
I think we're probably, what, 8 on 7 or 8 on 6?
Something like that, yeah, I think so. I mean, Desert Edge does have bodies stacked up, and I'm surprised that they haven't tried to do anything. You send 2 to this roller to have a body to flood forward.
Well, that's actually the third body, because you remember they tried to fill a snake and he died out of
yeah,
there.
that's right. So,
So
but
they're overloading
they lost that whoever their aggressive guy was,
Right.
and now they've just been content to try to gunfight from their spots,
Wow,
and they
they're-
haven't taken much ground.
They just took the other back spot here, so I feel like a move to the ditch is imminent.
Yeah, I mean, if this guy makes that move into the ditch and just comes up and smokes his 50 snake guy,
That would be ideal.
Huge.
That would be big for
It's definitely going to be a big
Desert
swing.
Edge.
I don't know if Rhythm has a guy in the back spot.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they have any tape contain over here. Kind of just the guy in the rolling, and he can't really do much, especially against this trench guy.
So we're looking behind the Desert Edge over their backs here on the trench side. And you can see that in the center of your screen, the snake there offset from the trench. So he's looking like he wants to make a move. He just got to this spot. He's peeking around. He's completely out of paint. That's not a good sign. The back player over there is completely out of paint on the trench side.
He needs to go stick somebody.
I was going to say, he needs to get into this trench.
This Desert Edge guy here has really got the ball right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
This guy needs to drop a pod for his back player. He gets into the trench, and the back player comes behind him and picks his pod.
High level thinking, Matt.
I'm just throwing that out there.
That's going to happen.
That advice was free.
I don't think he said it loud enough. He didn't hear you. He's still there.
Yeah, we don't have a speaker over there, so maybe he's got the webcast on in his pocket right now.
I always do. I mean, I don't, Tom.
Tom's right
He's
here.
like, he forgot it was here.
Yeah.
Tom is right here.
Wait, you're not allowed to use inner ear communication devices?
No, not yet.
That's
We're
new.
getting there.
Is that a new rule for 2020?
Yeah. Doing that for years.
I think we help enough with the VIP loudspeakers half the time.
Occasionally, that will be a thing where I will go. I'll say
100% a
something.
thing.
Yeah, I'll say something, and the D side guy will make a move. I'm like, well, if Colt, Colt could totally get into the 40 right now, and then Colt will go into the 40.
Yeah.
That's
and
just
then,
good timing, man. It's just paintball, minds think alike.
Yeah,
that's
great minds
all.
think alike. Absolutely.
You can't hear it at all, Tom. Just
I'm actually wondered if any D-side guys like sneak into the VIP and go and just turn the speaker up a little bit over there and then just
That's a good idea.
ghost out.
I'm definitely going to now.
Just buy a universal remote.
Yeah, there you go. So I was like, I don't know, we keep turning that speaker down. I got a guard right there. I just don't know what's happening. So situation is still the same, as Rhythm has this body, and he's been here pretty much the whole game almost at this 50-yard line snake. But this just shows you how important that spot is.
Sure.
That has really stopped any of these guys from making moves. They had one body go in, he got shot trying to get in. They haven't done anything else other than that. If they did filter bodies out wide, which is great, but no forward penetration here and taking real estate for Desert Edge. They've just been content to be in their spots and try to work out these Rhythm players, and they haven't been able to do it. Rhythm controls the tank. Rhythm controls the snake.
Tree guy as well.
Oh, wow. They did
That's
just
going to be
lose the
game.
tree guy.
He doesn't look happy.
Yeah, he's looking like he doesn't think that he was hit coming off.
doing the
What
Oliver
hit are
walk
you
right
talking
now.
about? Yeah.
Wait,
Where did that
what?
shot come
What?
from? Like, there's no way it
No,
could have
I
got
never get
shot,
shot.
from that angle.
I never get shot.
So on your screen right now, you're looking at the trench, and Rhythm still has that body at the 50-yard line here. You can kind of see him peeking his head out a little bit.
They've got the trench now and the tank, so they've got 3 across the 50. So they're starting to close. They just need to kind of counter on that sub side. There's really only one guy, or well, I guess the rollie shooting cross is contesting that sub side, but they only have one guy on Desert Edge on the sub side currently.
Well, the tank is putting his gun towards the sub side of the field. Now he's actually going back and forth a little bit.
They're triple the rolling now.
Oh, he's getting paint.
I have not seen that bunker tripled up this entire event
tournament.
or the last tournament that we played here not too long ago either. That's
You'd
the
think
first
you'd
time
be
I've seen
forcing moves into the snake from there, right?
that. That's the point of having that
Okay.
bunker there. That's, Yes, that
Well,
is
if my
key.
third guy just showed up with one pod, he would definitely be the guy in
Yeah,
the snake.
like, hey,
man,
bud,
somebody.
Absolutely.
Get in there.
The guy shows up, hey, give me some paint. No, how about you just run to the snake?
Yeah.
Let me fill your hopper up and get in there. Go stick that guy.
Uh-oh.
There comes Rhythms up and over the top, past the 50 here.
So you can get a 3-pack for free right here.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice set of kills for him if he can make his
Looks
shots.
like
He just has to wrap around.
Yeah, but he's looking at that back center guy, I think.
I mean, as soon as he head checks inside, he's going to see those guys. His eyes are going to get real wide, and he's going to get a couple free kills. He's got to be careful, though, because if he keeps squirming around, one of those guys from Desert Edge is going to pick up the movement and blast his arm. This guy could finish this right now. No one knows he's here. He's getting
a little more comfortable.
Yeah, squirming around in there. Looks like he's trying to find a good gunfighting spot.
I don't hate the play. He's working his progression. Oh, I don't like that play.
Oh, that was not the way to do it. He still, did he catch one of those? The question.
It looked like he caught one, but he's still in there.
Hey, no helping from the sidelines.
Well, he's still in. He's alive. He's definitely alive in this spot, but he is tucked in as much as he can, and both those players who had the rollie are just gunned up on him, hoping that to maybe shoot a tip of a barrel or anything that pokes out. He's still clean. Here comes Rhythm trying to finish this out, and they definitely, I think he just shot that guy in his barrel.
The barrel hits don't count in 10 man. He's fine.
Well, it looks like that one's going to count. And the time is going to expire. So some missed opportunities out here.
Huge.
Yeah, missed opportunities.
They had all the spots.
Yeah, that game definitely could have been Rhythm's for sure. That's going to be a frustrating stalemate here for Rhythm. They had position. They just took too long to close, and Desert Edge really had no aggression. All right, Colt, well, thank you so much. Yeah, can't wait to see what you guys do out here.
Yes, sir.
Colt Roberts playing with Adrenaline, series champ, San Antonio X Factor. Guesting with Adrenaline, team that won the very first ICPL. So how's your morning going, Tom?
It's going good, actually. Everybody seemed pretty happy from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm waiting for something bad to happen. I want to pinch myself because I feel like everything seems to be going pretty good.
I gave up waiting on something bad to happen because it just happens.
So next up, after they count the bodies here for Rhythm and Desert Edge.
That game was weird because Rhythm really seemed to have everything in rhythm, right? They were really crushing it. Then they really had a hard time closing that game.
Well, they waited too long, too.
Yeah.
I also don't think that they, I mean, look, you walk the field, you find out these angles, but you don't just walk your primary and secondary and the bunkers at the 50. You have to walk what we would call back in the day, lockout and closeout. Okay, if we lose a bunch of bodies, how do we defend if these guys are attacking us? And then once we chew guys up, or we need to push in a minute 30, how can I close? And once this play,
especially on the field that you know is going to be the finals field.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And yeah, so the Rhythm player should have known that when he got in this trench, that when he got to the end there, that he could shoot the rollie out, and that's what he needed to concentrate on. He knew the rollie was there, and he knew it engaged him.
Yeah, the roll. I mean, and he had 2 free kills. All he had to do was
There was a third guy just right past him.
There was a third lined up right there. He could have got himself the easiest 3-pack of the tournament right there.
Yep.
But it didn't happen. He stayed
they still
alive.
played good. I mean, this is their first tournament. I don't know what it's a.
Rhythm's been around for a while, though, right?
Not with us, no.
Oh, okay.
They're a new pro
I've heard that
team,
name before.
They're a lockout. This is basically the free flow. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
cool.
This is.
Well, they didn't play bad. They just didn't close.
No, they played good. They got like a bunch of squirrely kids, and they looked like they were making the moves. But yeah, they needed to take that next level through.
Well,
and I actually thought Desert Edge played the defensive pretty well.
Yes, they did. They held the line. Rhythm didn't really push the issue until the very end, though. So it's not like they had to hold off a hardcore push with a bunch of different moves until the very end. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm now looking over at the beautiful autocockers that the Rhythm guys are shooting. So, but yeah, it's good to see all these teams from all over the place. But yeah, Desert Edge just kind of played too defensive, and Rhythm couldn't close. Okay, about to jump into this next game though. And it's going to be Solid Destiny Gold taking on the Wise Guys. And after that, we're going to see the All-Americans, one of the favorites out here, take on Northwest Rogue, who has Sloviak guesting with them. So on the breakout here with Destiny and Wise Guys. Wise Guys are on the left, and Destiny is on the right. Looks like Wise Guys going to be taking that 50 tank and able to make it clean. So we, I don't know, Tom, if you were here for that, but we did see one body come off today off the break from the tank. But other than that, everyone's been making it again. So I was wondering today if people were going to find a way to shoot that guy out.
They are in the ditch on the break.
That's a huge move here for the Wise Guys.
I didn't even look there because I haven't seen anybody go there on the break yet.
The only other team that was able to make it into the ditch off the break in all the games we saw yesterday, who was that? It was it was the Sea Dogs.
Sea Dogs.
Yeah, Sea Dogs took Snake 1 and the trench off the break.
Yeah.
They still lost that game though. So it looks like, see, this is what you do not want to do. Make it to a key spot
and then die.
And then die within the first 45 seconds of the game. So that's a great kill for Destiny though. Let's see if they can get out. Well, our Destiny's in a good spot here at the tree. After watching all the games you watched yesterday, Tom, I really feel like that tree is an incredibly crucial spot.
I do too.
And I also think it's makeable off the break a bunch because we saw a decent amount of teams start taking it off the break, and I don't remember anyone getting shot from that spot off the break.
I don't either. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
So I think I was talking to a lot of teams after everyone was walking the fields, and after watching all these games, I was trying to give them every team. It wasn't just one team or another. It was every single team. I'm like, okay, this is how I think this field should play. After watching all these games for 2 tournaments, just so we could, get some good games out here.
Well, I think what's important, though, is when this guy leaves the tree to go into the ditch or gets eliminated, they need to refill it because the ditch guy needs that back guy.
Yes.
To really be able to do something.
Well, the ditch seems to be where the good teams are closing from.
Right.
It's tank, snake, and then the subside, and then the trench. That seems to be where the flow of action is going down around this 50-yard line for the best teams.
Trench is definitely the one spot that you can get to the other team's 40, shoot a lot of bodies without being exposed.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a hard move to make.
It's a hard move to make, and it's a hard position to play well because we've seen a decent amount of guys get into here, and we've seen a lot of games closed from here, but we've also seen a lot of guys die in this spot trying to get things done.
It's frustrating from the field designer guy because we put this bunker on the end of the trench just so when that guy crawls to the end, he can sit like he did last time and shoot all those Desert Edge guys. And then when they don't do it the way we built it, I get mad at them.
So now it looks like Destiny is going to have some aggression. They're going to get to the 50-yard line here in the trench. They also get into Snake 1. Those 2 moves happening pretty much at the same time. So we were just talking about this. Let's see what this player for Destiny can do with this trench. He's taking a lot of pressure down the sideline right now, so he needs to just hang out in here and hide. He's got a lot of time to work with. There's no reason for him to engage right now. He's taking pressure from the inside. He's taking pressure from down the sideline. But that's 2 guns that aren't shooting at his players anywhere else right now. That's the purpose of getting here early.
Both teams just dropped a body. Destiny lost a guy out of a mid spot behind the tank, and I believe the other player was eliminated from the tank.
So
Destiny's moving though.
Yeah, Destiny now moving to their 50-yard line trench, 50-yard line snake. They have some good spots over here on this snake and trench side of the field. Now they need to start filtering bodies up on that sub side. So the player in the trench looks like he wants to engage inside. A lot of time for him. A lot of time for him to work with.
Both guys on the rollie are on him.
Yeah, he needs to just
looking this way.
He has 8 minutes to work with here.
Yeah.
He needs to just hang out, let those guys shoot at him.
They just made a good move to the outside, though. But Destiny looks like it's coming full force. Of course, he bunkered a tank guy. Oh, my God, look at this move from Destiny.
He's still alive.
Straight through, stayed alive.
He almost got all the way into the backfield.
Line.
Yeah, the Wise guys, I don't know how they allowed that to happen. I mean, maybe they lost more bodies than I thought. Oh, Destiny is going to lose their body here from the 50-yard line snake. So it's just the trench on this side of the field, and he's still taking some heat. Oh, he might have just got wrapped around. And if you're at that roller, you cannot do what that guy just did. Get off of the trench and then let him wrap all the way around and almost shoot you out. So now he's putting pressure here on the trench. Getting kind of quiet out there right now. So Destiny had made that big move up in the center. The player air bunkered the tank. There was no one to shoot there. They already shot that guy. And then he almost made it all the way into the Wise Guys' backfield before somebody picked him up. When the guns turned that way, this player here in the trench started engaging, but he's now taking pressure again, and he doesn't have anybody behind him. He's the only person on this side. I mean, I think the next closest player is the back center, so he's got to be real careful because he's looking at 2 or 3 guys in front of him. If he dies right now, Wise Guys could turn this game around.
Well, I think Wise Guys might only have the 2 guys here. They have 1 guy up on this wire and 1 guy at the rollie. I believe that's all that's left.
Destiny taking the tank. need to filter a body up on that sub side. They have one player over there, and it's moved up a little bit, but you know, they have time to work with. There's still 6 minutes and 14 seconds left. Tom, I think you might be right. That might be the only people left alive. Yeah, so there's the turret. We're looking out behind the Wise Guys right now. And there's definitely a player in the turret, definitely a player in the rollie. I don't see anyone else alive. Yeah, I think it's just those 2 bodies out there for the Wise Guys.
Ditch guy's having some gun problems, so that's going to slow things up a little
It's definitely going to limit his effectiveness over here. He's about to, I think he's trying to take his barrel off.
He's already done that.
Oh, he did that
Taken
already?
it apart, put it back together.
That looks like he might have his gun up here. Yeah, no one's putting pressure. He's going to be able to get a shot on this roller. Oh, he missed a shot again. This is the second time that this player has come around and just missed that shot.
He's deep on that. He's deep on the roll, so I think it's harder for him to get that shot. It looks easier from our angle. I think he's pretty far back there.
So.
Oh wow, the
5 minutes, 15 seconds to
Destiny
close.
is all the way on the.
All the way onto the Wise Guys side.
Yeah, all the way on the Wise Guys side.
Yeah, he's at that stand-up way onto their side of the field here. He's trying to put the pinch on that roller, but this is why that roller is sometimes one of the last guys left alive. I think the trench
just got it.
Yeah, the trench finally got the shot in on him, so there should be maybe just one player at the turret, unless he already got shot. I think yep, that's it. So Destiny's able to close. Yeah, so Destiny gonna close this one out and take the victory here. So, but do not go anywhere. We're going to be coming back with a pretty solid matchup. It's going to be the All-Americans taking on Northwest Rogue. So stick with us here. More action coming at you from the 2020 Sunshine Classic here on GoSports.com. taking a bunch of ground off the break here. This big matchup with the All-Americans, but they get shot off the break right now. So, but notice that, Tom, he went to the double bunker there. He didn't go to the tank.
First time we've seen that, right?
Yeah, we have
On the
not.
break?
Yeah, we have not seen that off the break, and he didn't make it. So, you know, I don't know if All-Americans figured out a way to shoot that lane better than some of these teams have, but
it's a second Northwest Rogue guy walking off on the break. So
8 bodies alive.
No, All-American just dropped out of the center back.
I think we're going to see a penalty assessed here on the All-Americans, so 2 bodies have come off. It's 8 on 8.
8 on 8, but the All-Americans just took the tank.
That's a good secondary move here for the All-Americans to shoot that body off the break and then take the tank. So typically speaking, people have been making it there, but the Northwest Rogue player ran a different route and ran to that double cutout bunker, got shot. So better field position currently, slightly, for the All-Americans. Rogue, though, able to double up this roller, and looks like one of those players is in there is having gun problems right now. He's got his barrel in his hand. They also did take the tree, though, here pretty quick for Rogue, so good position. It's a key spot over here on the trench side. Got a body over here.
Yeah, Rogue's got the field pretty well spread. 2 guys at the rollie. All-Americans only have the 1. I guess that's the trade out for the tank. Other than that, they seem pretty well matched up.
Yeah, it is. It's 8 on 8 still. It looks like the player for Rogue at the rollie, at the rollers.
Gun back
yeah, it looks like he's finally got his barrel back on. Let's see if that gun works. And yeah, looks like he's not breaking balls anymore, so he's good to go. They have spread the field out wide. It's tougher to get out wide on this trench and snake side than it is on the D side. Uh-oh, that player has now got his hopper in his hand. Not going well for him. I hate those games. You're like, my gun was working fine just 2 seconds ago.
It is tough when you have these chilly mornings, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
All the paint designed for...
When it's 47 degrees out,
yeah,
which is not crazy cold. I'm sure all the people that are living in the northern reaches right now are laughing at me.
People are praying
but
for
like,
47.
that is not cold, yeah.
It's a little hard on paint.
Yes, of course.
Especially when you're trying to shoot some fragile paint.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, once it gets below about 60, 50s, especially in the 40s, you got to be. You're going to be breaking some paint.
All-American just made a move down to the sub. Looks like he is clean.
Because you don't want to shoot winter paintballs at each other. Those things are like marbles.
Yeah, you don't want to shoot them. Not in a tournament.
No, not in a tournament. If you're going to play it for fun, sure, but not when it counts. So looks like he might have his gun back up and running. The All-Americans have taken a little bit more ground. They get the 40-yard line on the sub side of the field. They still have a body at that tank, and he's focusing his gun to try to keep Rogue out of the snake. Rogue just content to chill in their spots so far. Haven't really taken any moves since they made their initial positions.
Yeah, they filled out to that outside, just kind of trying to fix the holes they had from their losses.
But since then, they've been in their spots. Yeah, a little bit more initiative here for your All-Americans with the big move to the tank, and then it's also a pretty big move to get to that 40-yard line on the sub side. That's a key bunker.
It is.
We did see a lot of guys, I feel, not know some shots from there, as far as the blind shots over here into the trench. A couple of missed opportunities yesterday.
Tank guy just got plinked out.
That's a tough death for the All-Americans.
Yeah.
So now they have 1 penalty and 1 tough death out of an important spot.
Yep.
So the All-Americans need to tighten things up here. They're one of the favorites at this event, and I was really looking forward to this specific game because today we're seeing a lot of teams that, Tom, we didn't get to see yesterday on center court here. This hybrid field is where the semifinals and the finals are going to be going down. So we just heard how fun the woodsball field was, and obviously hyperball's fun. Mark Johnson was saying, hey, good job on making the woodsball field a lot better than it was at the first event. So, but I was really looking forward to seeing the All-Americans play Rogue because Rogue's a good squad, and the All-Americans are one of the favorites out here. But right now, the All-Americans just kind of grinding their gears a little bit here.
Wow, looks like they just dropped it. No, okay.
All-Americans were in the finals for the 5-man. They take second or third? I think they took second, right?
No, I think it was far side took third.
Oh, okay, far side took third.
Was far side first and second. Yeah, I think the All-Americans might have taken third. But they play a lot of classic. Oh wow, now they're in the sub, so they've doubled up the sub. They got a guy at the head of the sub and a guy in the sub. So the All-Americans are definitely coming to win this.
Yeah.
No, the All-Americans play a lot of the classic format, and they're always a force to be reckoned with. And they.
It's just good to see the big 3, the Ironman, the All-Americans, and Chicago Aftershock, still out here playing 10-man. Because back in the day, those were the 3 teams in their respective areas of the world that really helped put tournament paintball on the map.
It's really cool how the old names, they keep the old names. You got Adrenaline, you got the X-Men here, you know, the All-Americans. That is pretty cool.
So better field position right now for the Always.
Cab Factory, too. I don't know when Cab Factory started, but they're definitely an old school team name.
Late 90s.
Late 90s.
So Desert Edge, Northwest Rogue just kind of content to play defense right now, as the All-Americans have been the ones pushing the issue.
Oh, wow.
All-Americans.
Someone's putting the heat on this Rogue guy behind them.
Yeah, well, one of his teammates just said, hey, what do you need to get in the snake, dude? Let's go.
There we go.
There he goes.
And
Move.
no problem. Strangely got in there easy as hell.
Yeah, untouched. No one even shot at him. And now they're shooting at him, which is perfect, because now he's going to draw some guns. That's going to loosen things up for everyone behind him. That's the whole point you
it
get
is
in there.
interesting, just tightening up a little angles and making everybody have to play just a little more tight. Makes it harder for them to get shots.
Yeah, very crucial. And now he's going to crawl up. It's a really easy crawl from Snake 1 to this 50. And you know, obviously, if you're watching, everyone can see how much paint is covering the 50 compared to Snake 1.
Oh, wow.
And now they're going to flood a body into the trench. So some counter punch moves here and some counter attacks from Rogue. Oh, and he almost gets the drop on the roller too. So Dean here in the trench. This is a good double set of moves here. So,
and if Dean can look down, he's got definitely the sub
this
guy.
is that shot we were talking about. So Dean here has a shot cross field on the 40-yard line on the sub side of the field, but I don't know if he knows that shot, and I don't know if he knows that that spot is hot. Oh, he's trying to shoot the back corner or back center. So Dean's being very proactive in this spot, and he is taking a lot of heat. So now would probably be a good time for him to just chill a little bit, or maybe shoot that cross field shot.
That Snake guy found the bottom sub guy. Apparently couldn't go put a shot on him.
Well, All-Americans pushing the sub side. Rogue pushing the trench and the snake side.
They now have 3 guys on that snake side. Northwest Rogue just lost the back guy on the sub side, and the All-Americans have flooded 3 bodies down there.
Yeah, so
I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Can the snake guys stop the sub guys, or the sub guys going to end up?
Yeah,
because now we've swung the field.
Yes, this is essentially one of those times when if the Rogue players don't win this battle over here on the trench and the snake side, then it looks like the All-A's have 3 bodies over there. They already chewed up 1 body from Rogue on that side. So the question right now is are the All-Americans going to blow up in the sub side and win the game from there? Or are the Rogue guys going to step up here in the snake and trench, and are they going to win the game from here?
The Rogue guys seem to want to win this trench.
Yeah, Dean's now past the 50-yard line. He wants to crawl up and get that better angle on that roller.
Ball. Oh, bad spot now.
Yeah, the turret is just perfectly zoned up, and he gets the shot on Dean. That's a huge kill from that turret.
Dean was playing great, though, boy.
Yeah, and with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left, it wasn't quite let's really push the issue time. But when you're on one side and you have great position and you know the team is starting to break open your other side, yes, the sense of immediacy has to be there. You have to create some offense. So
Rogue,
Dean was trying to do that.
Once again, Rogue filled this tree, and right after their ditch guy died. And really, the timing needs to be just before that ditch guy dies.
Yes, absolutely. So just a little slight misstep here or there. I do like what we saw at Dean, but it was just a good shot from the turret. Dean crawled just a little too far up there, but he was trying to make something happen, so I'm not going to knock him that much. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left, and the sub side of the field, All-Americans, 3 bodies that way. They're at the 50-yard line. Would definitely help them if he could find a way to retake that tank. That would put more pressure here on this side. But Tom, it does look like the Rogue players have tightened up quite a bit. They're all tucked into their spots. A lot of them are focusing their gun towards that sub side.
They looked really vulnerable a second ago, but now they do not. Oh,
just as I say that, though,
a really bad
well,
move coming across field.
Well, Frank Connell tried to come and bunker out this 50-yard line snake, and he gets chewed up. But as that happened, Rogue lost another body in a gunfight from that spot. He couldn't get small enough. 2 bodies now, so it is not looking good. Even with that move from Frank where he got chewed up, Rogue not looking solid right now as they've lost those 2 bodies in the center.
I thought that was Frank, but then I thought it was too fast to be Frank. So yeah, no,
Frank still got some wheels.
He was moving.
So it is. There's still 1 body left in the back corner bunker here for Rogue on that sub side. They still have the 50 snake.
And I wonder if they still have this tree. I didn't see the guy leave from the tree, but
So here's the action in the sub side.
Oh, wow.
McClellan, so McClellan in there for the All-Americans and running a racket over there. He's in a really good spot, trying to win it for his team. Got a minute and 50 seconds left to put the pinch on these last few players here for Northwest Rogue. He does have one body in front of him, one enemy who is in that back corner bunker that he has to worry about. There he is on your screen. You're looking at the last couple players left alive here for Northwest Rogue. That's the only body stopping McClellan on that side.
Well, the All-Americans just bunkered out the snake guy.
Here he comes. So he's going to cut through. Is he going to stop or try to run him down? He's going to stop it and engage in a gunfight, and they are going to trade. That's a good trade, though.
The All-Americans have blown the ditch side.
So nice close from the All-Americans.
Nice
they lost some bodies, but it really was McClellan over there.
That was a good game, though. Northwest Rogue played a great game there. It was a pretty good little back and forth.
Yeah, though, look, the All-Americans won that game. I do like the close that we just saw. Great play on the D side. If they want to win this tournament, though, on this field, they're going to need to tighten things up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the way that AC Diesel's playing and the way that that Cat Factory was playing this particular field, Ground Zero Gold, those teams were playing this field much better than what we just saw the All-Americans. So if the All-Americans go deep, we are taking the top 9 this afternoon to find out who's going to be winning this tournament as we move on. And the All-Americans are a favorite out here. So, but they did get the win, so that's going to help their chances to be in that top 9.
Sure.
So next up is going to be Ground Zero Silver taking on Undertow, and then a big game after that. Adrenaline will be out here for their first time. They won the first ICPL in Chicago, and then they're going to be playing the Master Blasters. And Tom, I've been hearing that the Master Blasters have been looking really good out here.
They have. I talked to Kevin Donaldson periodically, and he's got a good little squad. He got some young guys, he got some old guys, which we all agree I think is pretty much the perfect mix for this format.
That's what you need. You need some young killers that want to get after it, and they're not scared to go balls to the wall and dive into crazy spots. And then you need some master tacticians who could put a good woodsball game plan together.
And so, yeah, the Master Blasters definitely have that going for them. And so they've just been playing well, and they played really well here last year, and they seem to be continuing that. And they seem pretty happy. So there's a lot of good players coming out of that New York area.
It is good to see that there has been an upward tick in the amount of talent coming out of the Northeast.
Right.
You know, because you have Revo from up in that area. They're really good. And you have the New York Extreme guys. They're getting good. And then you have all these 10-man squads that are coming out of there, too. So it's just cool to see that area thrive.
It was always a hotbed back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the airball side, it's kind of, until New York Extreme, it had kind of fallen out. So it's good to see that come back. Yeah.
Yeah, so that Adrenaline Master Blasters game will take place after, speaking of New York teams, Ground Zero Silver will be taking on Undertow here in this next match. And it looks like both these teams are out there and ready to go, so should be just a few moments away. Ground Zero Silver is going to be, I believe, on the left. Yeah, Ground Zero Silver is going to be on the left. Undertow will be on the right. I've also been hearing, Tom, that people seem to prefer this this right side to the left-hand side.
Yeah, I've heard that. I had a couple teams earlier tell me they felt like the right-hand side was better. Of course, then they immediately proceeded to lose from that side and win from the side they thought was bad. That literally
always happens. Well, so you just gave me some scores here. Looking at some scores in these divisions, Cat Factory is dominating right now. They have 6 games they've played with 6 wins, and all those scores are real high. 96, 96, 97, 97, 97, 95.
Yep.
Those are some beatings. The Ironmen, not looking too bad. The legendary guys from the Ironmen, those OG players with their kids out here, they have 4 wins and 2 losses, but they did put up a 98 and a 100. Shock looks pretty good. They did drop a game. Sabre Wolves have dropped 2, though, so they're 3-2 right now. Ground Zero Gold's looking outstanding. They're undefeated, and AC Empire is undefeated. So we'll get into those scores a little bit more here, but now jumping into this match. Ground Zero Silver on the left, Undertow on the right. Undertow's going to lose a body off
right
the break. And Tom, I don't think they shot anybody from Ground Zero, so it looks like it's going to be a 10-on-9 to start things out. Neither team really taking too much ground, though. Both teams getting out wide. Now on a secondary, Ground Zero Silver is going to try to get a body up into the tank, and it looks like he's clean.
Looks like Undertow lost 2 on the break. They took a pretty wide run.
Over here to the trench
they went
side.
all the way out to the trench side.
And now they're going to try to dive a body into the roller, and it looks like he makes it clean.
So Ground Zero did lose one, so it looks like it's 8 on 9 right now. Ground Zero's advantage.
See Ground Zero if they can take another bite of this real estate out here, as they still have that body in the tank, and he's looking towards this trench side, trying to keep this body from flooding into the snake. Eight on 9 in favor of Ground Zero Silver. Tank player now moves his gun over to the sub side. You got to obviously pick a side out there if you only have one body up in that position. And you know, Tom, we have seen a much slower roll of the aggression on the D side and on the trench side. So when you're up there in the tank, you do kind of have to pick one.
Yeah,
okay.
you can't protect both sides.
Yeah, you can't do it.
And we don't see 2 guys in there that often, even though I think 2 guys in there is pretty strong. But yeah, you don't see 2 guys in there too often.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple. Farside took the tank with 2 bodies, both the games that they played off the break. A couple other teams have flooded bodies up there mid-game. But yeah, I mean, ideally, if you can get 2 bodies up in that center, and then you not necessarily maybe right away, but it does help out a lot, because then, because these sides, it is harder to get out on both the sub side and the trench side. If you can get those 2 bodies up there, and your opponents haven't made it out wide yet, big advantage. Even though it still is a pretty far shot from the tank to shoot the guys over here on the trench side. It's not the closest shot in the world, so got to make it count. But Ground Zero Silver, oh, but the player from the tank, where did he get shot from? He's looking back at his, I think he might have just got shot by his own guys. He's looking back at some of his players with his hands up like, who just shot me? So big loss now for Ground Zero Silver, as the only body they have up the field walking off dead, and it's going to throw away their advantage as well. It's now 8 on 8. Still a ton of time left to go as you filter over, and you can see, looking over the shoulders here for Ground Zero Silver, as they have 2 bodies in that turret, 1 body in the roller, and then a body out wide here at that tree insert spot. So these guys just feeling each other out right now. A little bit better position for the guys from Undertow here on this side that we're looking at on your screen, because they have a body at the tree, the insert tree right behind the trench, which is a pretty key spot. Got something for me, Tom?
I'm trying to figure out if the team names are wrong. Yeah.
No,
Undertowers.
we're right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, All-Americans, Northwest Rogue just played.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, if we were up here,
we'd be good.
We'd be way ahead of schedule.
You see how I think. We want.
You got that tournament promoter mind.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be an hour and a half ahead.
Well, like I said, things are running pretty smooth out here so far. I'm trying to pinch myself. So these teams have just been content to sit in their primary and a couple secondary spots and just roll their guns and see if they can win some gunfights. That's a little bit of a lower percentage play out here. A couple teams have played defense and won, but it's been mostly a pretty aggressive field. The team that wins this tournament is going to be aggressive. And the best 2 teams we've seen at least play on this field is AC Diesel and Cat Factory. Both those teams are...
And Ground Zero Gold. I thought Ground Zero Gold looked pretty
Ground
good,
Zero Gold looked pretty good. I just think that that Cat Factory and AC Diesel swarmed a little bit quicker. They closed a little bit more methodically. But yeah, Ground Zero Gold looked outstanding out here as well. They're one of the favorites right now too. They have that, you talked about that mix of younger guys and older guys.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what Ground Zero's gold on. And that was intentional. I mean, it is interesting to see how the team's rosters are starting to evolve as well. Everyone gets on their phone and, like, hey, do you want to come play some 10-man? You used to be really good back in the day. I got a gun. I got an autococker you can use.
Yeah, I ran into Billy Wing, and he was getting drafted while I was talking to him.
Is he out here?
Yeah, he's here.
Is he playing?
He's not playing. He just showed up to kind of check things out.
Yeah, Billy was a master in the woods. I played with Billy Wing for 5.5 years, and
yeah, he was out there walking the field with Shaner. So
it's like a blast from the past.
Yeah, it's like old school.
Yeah, Billy Wing used to get nasty out there in the woods.
He's always so polite. So
yes, very nice guy. So right now, similar situation. A little bit more ground now taken for Ground Zero Silver as they have that 40 on the sub side. And we saw in the All-Americans game how potent that sub side can be. We obviously saw Chicago Aftershock and how potent that sub side could be, because that's basically how they won the tournament here in October. Slightly different field this time with a couple more bunkers over here on this trench side, but the field is essentially playing mostly the same as it did.
Both teams have filled these launch points for the ditch. So this is going to be a little bit of a battle over the ditch now all of a sudden.
Referee coming to check out one of the players for Ground Zero Gold as it looks like
Undertow. Undertow got eliminated right at the head of the ditch right about that time. He knew it. Oh, and then Ground Zero loses the guy at the sub, so still even bodies.
Yeah, both teams losing bodies here. It is still evened up. Looks like it is 7-on-7 with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. And with those guys here, the aggressors now walking off, these teams are going to have to try to reposition to put somebody in a spot where they can move up the field. Looking at Undertow here on your screen. Yeah, still not much, no ground taken after those deaths as we crack the 5-minute mark now. And
Undertow, making a move back, making it back down to the gun turret.
Yeah, it looks like they lost that body from the turret, so the player from the roller, to spread the field out a little more wide, goes over to the turret to take the place of the death of his teammate.
Ground Zero's jumping up here into the ditch.
Ooh, and did he get that kill? No, he didn't. He missed that shot.
Oh.
Undertow is also going to tactically retreat to get to the back center, so Ground Zero is now taking the initiative. So they're looking for the move. Oh, he's going to try to make the move out wide, and those are on your screen, the last couple players here for Undertow next to each other, and now he's able to make it out wide. So that was a good fill out here for Undertow.
Yeah, good fill.
Yeah, he had to run a long ways to get to this tree here.
Ground Zero loses their ditch guy.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, that was a good fill out, and the ditch dying. This is
yeah, that definitely changes the game up a little bit. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty neat little counter punch game.
So we made a bit of a mistake. It's actually Undertow on the left and Ground Zero on the right. So Undertow was the one playing the aggressor here, and Ground Zero is playing on their heels, the right-hand side. So Ground Zero, that fill out wide. So it is Ground Zero on the right, Undertow on the left. My bad. Everyone's wearing camouflage out here. It's kind of hard sometimes. So we'll see if Ground Zero can hold the line as we are now down to 2 minutes. And I mean, this could be a stalemate here, Tom.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a stalemate.
Yeah, we've seen mostly stalemates in the amateur games. Most of the pro games have not ended in stalemates. I think we've only seen maybe one or two.
Ground Zero going to the sub.
Yeah, so Ground Zero
and gets the clean call.
Yeah, Ground Zero with a big move out on that sub
side.
Wow,
they're coming. They got 3 bodies on the sub side now. Maybe they're going to try it.
This is the time to push. You have 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. Again, this is a big field. You need, I'd say, at least 20, 30 seconds, depending on your speed, to run it back.
Another Undertow guy just walked off the back line.
Well, that Ground Zero player that made that big move on the sub side, he's clean. The referee just went in there and checked him out. They need to get things moving, though, if they want to try to win this game here with a hang and a pull. Again, you get points for kills, you get points for your bodies being alive, and then you get points for the hang, and you get points for the pull as well. So it's not just like it is in the NXL where all you got to do is hit that buzzer. Doesn't matter how many bodies you have left alive, highest point total at the end of the regulations. It's a different, more kind of tactical game. There's a little bit more going on out there as far as the scoring is concerned, which is a throwback to how paintball grew up.
Yeah, I was looking at the points a minute ago, and Rhythm, they had that game against Desert Edge, right? I think it was against Desert Edge. And they're sitting 4th in their bracket right now. They need to be 3rd. And they really technically beat Desert Edge. They just didn't do it with enough time to get the flag back. And that's really going to affect them in the standings.
Yeah, then again, it's just, that's why you have a guy, like Rodney Squires, Glenn Forrester, like you said, the older guys that kind of understand the points. Everyone has that points guy in their team. Yep. Hey, for us back in the day, it was Mike McLaughlin. Hey, go look at the scoreboard and figure out what we need to do in these last 2 games. Some guys don't want to know. They just want to be able to play the game. And
Aftershock is a team that should not know. But in Infamous it's affected them twice, though.
Well, right? I was just going to bring that up. I mean, if you do the math wrong, because sometimes on the field you're trying to count the numbers and do the math, and Infamous messed the math up, and they were off a body, and it cost them. They cost them the chance to win the tournament in Chicago last year.
I always gave my guys false information. They'll probably get mad at me now, but and then there's that little group of captains like me, Glenn, everybody. We'd always ask each other, and I always told them I always padded my number, right? How many you need to shoot? 6. I really only need to shoot 3. So pad that number a little bit.
Hey, you got to know who you're coaching, right? You got to know who your players are.
Yep.
Who works with what type of input.
Well, you don't want to make a body mistake, right? I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want them to mess up the counts. And I can't always be there to count it for them.
So we are going to have a stalemate with a lot of bodies alive.
I'm going to throw this advice out here. When you play and you have bodies alive, you got to go at the end.
Absolutely.
You are better off mixing it up and shooting 10 bodies and losing 10 bodies than you are just being alive in your box.
The cardinal sin in paintball is to be alive when the game time's over. Yeah, and
unless you know something that they don't, but we're too early in the day for these guys to know the points that well to know that if they just sit through this, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, a stalemate in the prelims is a loss.
Right.
Yeah. Did either one of these teams lose this game? No, it's basically kind of tight. Maybe we'll see what the body count is, but that's relatively inconsequential. The most important thing is you get that hang and you get that pull.
I asked a team in Chicago, I said, how'd you guys do? It was an amateur team, and they were like, we haven't lost yet. And so I was excited for them. And then I went and looked at the scoreboard, and they hadn't won yet. So I was like, that doesn't count. But yeah, they were super fired up about it. And so I assumed that they did great. So I was all happy. And I go up there and take a quick look at it. And I was like, well, they're not going to make it.
You see a lot of red on their scoreboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, if you go and look at the website, pbleagues.com, and if it's green, it's good. It's red, it's not so good. So if you're looking at your games, you got 5 of them, you see a lot of red up there, that wasn't a good weekend for you. So now coming up here, we're going to see 2 more pro squads take the field here, and this should be a good game. This is Adrenaline taking on the Master Blaster. So both of these squads have looked pretty good here in the prelims. I've been hearing good things. Obviously, Adrenaline took the win the first ICPL in Chicago last year. And it was an interesting way to win.
Right out of the blue. Like, I would have not bet on them to win.
Yeah. Yes. They had a lot. Like, Brandon Unger had never played a 10-man event. Ever.
Yeah.
He goes out and gets a win in his first one, never played a woodsball event.
I don't think any of them had played in 10 years.
Yep.
It was just like they throw this team together. And he was calling me, and he was pretty confident they were going to do well. But how could he know?
James does his homework. Yeah, how could you know? You can't. You don't know.
You haven't fired a paintball in anger in 10 years. You just, all right, I'm going to come back. I'm going to see how this goes.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was a good look for him. It was fun to watch him win. It was an interesting way to win. I mean, they had Nicky Vegas and Brandon Unger driving to the airport.
Yep, had no idea they could win.
No idea.
They're like, there's no way Infamous is going to mess up this math.
Yeah, no one would have thought that. No one would have thought they'd show up and some of those guys had never played the woods.
They only had to shoot 3 bodies, right?
Yeah, and that no one thought that Infamous would go play Aftershock in a finals, and it would end in a stalemate, 9 guys alive to 8.
Yeah.
No, I was out there filming for that
If either
game.
team shot 3 people, they didn't win.
Shocking.
No pun truthfully
intended.
Baffling.
Yeah, so we're going to throw 12 minutes on this clock here, regulation time at the ICPL. And it's going to be the Master Blasters taking on Adrenaline here. So
this is exciting.
Yeah, Adrenaline on the right, Master Blasters on the left. So these two teams, you could call them favorites here. And then Nicky Vegas with the big run. Both teams are going to take.
Both teams at the tank.
And both teams make the tank off the break. So we'll see what Nicky Vegas does with an enemy. And he knows the Master Blasters guy as well. I mean, he's a New York guy.
Oh, yeah.
Former teammate of mine from Excessive. So here comes a couple more bodies making moves here for Adrenaline, but the referee's going to be checking out one of their back players who just made a secondary move.
Now he's
Is it going to be a clean?
Adrenaline dropped one.
It's a clean death at least. No
here we go.
penalties.
Here we go.
Here comes the run through. And it looks like they are going to trade out. So playing the aggressor here, Master Blasters come around on Nicky Vegas.
Yeah, but it's a shame Nicky Vegas was looking the wrong way for a second. He just happened to spin around right at that time.
So nice move for the Master Blasters. And both teams have lost, I think, well, 2 for sure for Adrenaline. And I think only 1 body has dropped for the Master Blasters. So I think there's a 1 body advantage here currently for the team on the left, at least when we're looking at it from the angles from the Snake and Trench side, they'll be on the left.
The Blasters look good there. They look like they knew what they wanted to do. They wanted to get that guy out of the tank. He came right around.
Yeah, as soon as he found out that Vegas was in there, he went and bunkered him out, which, you know, I'm never going to get mad at that. You go around, as long as you trade, you just got to trade with your guy. So we'll see if Colt Roberts, who's now at the roller, he had Colt up here talking earlier with us, you know, series champ, won a legend in the game, amazing player, and he's another guy that got picked up on Adrenaline because James Graley does his homework.
Both teams making big moves here. That's Colt there, right?
Yeah, Colt's at the roller, and then Brandon Unger should be in this back bunker over here.
Yeah, I got to play with Colt on Bad Company. He came and played with me at the ICC.
Well, it looks like Colt is going to make the move into the snake, and it looks like he makes it in clean.
Wow, and so did the Master Blasters. We got ourselves a ball game here.
Master Blasters. Oh, Colt took a core sample though. So Colt, it's, you know, that sand it's tough to dive into that sand. Then
We just talked about it with him.
Yes, we
He
did.
was like,
we did.
You got to be careful when you dive into the sand.
He dove. He didn't dive before. It was a good dive, but unfortunately, it's so thick that as he was trying to thrust his barrel up there, it took in there.
Moving. So now they're at both 50s. They just took the sub.
Well, Colt, yeah, absolutely, Tom, for sure. But this could get a little treacherous here for Colt because he took that core sample. He's got his barrel off right now, and he has an opponent right in front of him.
Now
the
Master
Blasters
are at the tank as well.
Yeah,
so
the Master Blasters are
all 350s.
They are controlling the action here. But Colt has his barrel on his gun, but I do not know if Colt knows that Snake 50 is hot, so he's also going to crawl up in the Snake 50. See if Colt can get the drop on him. Oh, he knows he's there now. He comes over the top and he stitches a beautiful move by Colt Roberts. Oh, Colt's nasty. Oh, but they lose Unger. Oh, looks like Adrenaline. So Master Blast is getting a nice shot here on one of the big killers for Adrenaline. I think that was Unger. A body for Adrenaline just came off this trench side, and Unger is playing that side of the field. But they got Colt Roberts alive at the 50 Snake, so.
Yeah, with the tank guy, not paying attention to Colt.
Yeah, and I don't know if Colt knows if the tank is hot, because Colt was fixing his gun when that move was made. So the Adrenaline, some people on Adrenaline need to tell Colt that there's a body at that 50 tank. But like we talked about yesterday, treat that as it's hot, right? If you're at the 50.
He's on it now.
Oh, another free kill for Colt. Oh, did he? I think he just got the shot in on his, he's putting balls right into him. So nice, that's a 2-pack here for Colt Roberts. Colt Roberts is earning his keep real quick here with Adrenaline. No surprise there.
It was interesting that Blaster guy let him get in the snake and then just crawl up on him.
It was also nice to see Colt just methodically took his barrel off, cleaned it, put it back on, and then just comes right up and just stitches that dude.
Well, you play paintball every day.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing it as long as Colt has. There is a reason he's the series champ in the NXL, which is, we were talking about yesterday how much that's a big statement to be the series champ with the parity and how well all the teams are playing. That's just a huge and amazing accolade for you know, one of the best teams ever to play the game, San Antonio X Factor. So yeah, Colt Roberts guesting here with Adrenaline. And Colt in real good position here at the 50 Snake. Time still not an issue yet, 7:40 to go. Adrenaline has lost a few bodies, and then here now they're going to try to come and take out Colt.
In the ditch.
He did not get a shot in on him. Looks like Colt got clipped though, trying to come up and get the shot in on the player in the trench.
Wow. That is the move.
Colt
I can't believe that move.
Colt actually did. Colt's barrel's like broken off. Did you see that?
Yeah, I was actually wondering if he had a stubby or what happened.
Well, the player in the trench also is going to be coming off as well, too. So I couldn't see if Colt traded with them. Oh, another body comes off for Adrenaline.
That was a good move by that guy getting in the ditch to shoot Colt. Colt was going to be a problem.
Yeah, Colt was already a problem.
So the
Colt,
Blasters guy making that move was good. Matter of fact, I didn't even think that move was possible.
So who's going to win this? Who's going to win this battle right now? Both teams have dropped bodies. Both teams don't really have players extended up the field anymore. As Colt did his
the
damage.
Blasters have a guy in the snake or in the
sub.
Well, they did.
Oh yeah, they do. It's on the
referee.
screen right now. So the referee's running in to check him out. Master Blaster's in good position, but it looks like he's clean. So this is the thorn in Adrenaline side at the 50-yard line, sub side of the field.
Protected me.
He's got a lot of time to work with, so he does not need to recklessly engage right now. 6:28 to go. But this is the only player up the field for both teams.
Oh,
and now
Adrenaline just lost another guy on that sub side. That's going to be tough.
Adrenaline, just survivability has been an issue for them. They've lost too many players. I talked to them yesterday, and I told them, here's what the strategy that's been working on this field. But I told them, I'm like, you have to have your back players live. If you're losing too many back players out of here, you're not going to have the guys to filter up or protect your front players. It's going to be an issue, and it's kind of a problem for them right now. They've lost too many bodies out of their spots in this backfield.
I mean, this is still anybody's game. I think the Blasters have an advantage right now, but this is still anybody's game.
I definitely agree. The Blasters have a big advantage because they have a player in that 50 sub. But if that guy catches one, I mean, this is the guy with the ball right now.
Well, is there 3 Adrenaline guys along this whole back line, right? It's basically what I'm seeing.
So here's Master Blasters filtering up the field.
Now the Blasters just took the tank.
So I think Blasters have the advantage on the real estate. They've taken the ground. They have this player here in the sub, and I think they have an extra body out there too, as they have won. Their survivability's been better than Adrenaline has. But we've been hearing how well the Master Blasters were playing on these other fields, and Adrenaline also doing pretty well, but they had a couple stalemates. So this is a must-win situation here for both these squads. Definitely a must-win for Adrenaline.
It's never easy to be the guy that just won a tournament because the next teams now, everybody plays you a little different. They start taking you a lot more seriously.
Absolutely.
You end up with a lot more stalemates.
Yeah, no one sleeps on you after you've won a tournament.
Yeah, and and if you stalemate the champion, does that make you the champion? Oh, Master Blasters
this is
just lost
a tough death here for Master Blasters.
The ditch,
yeah, trying to get into the ditch. And
but I think it was the right move. I think he needed to try and get in the ditch.
Yeah.
He just needed to live.
Well, we've seen how powerful this trench side is to close out games. If you have a body in the 50-yard line on the sub side and you can get into this trench, it's huge because now they have to respect you and worry about you over here because you can win the game from this side.
Here comes Doyle. Doyle's made a move up into the center here.
The referees are running in. Anytime you see a running referee, that's typically not a good thing.
There's quite a few Blasters alive in here.
Yeah, Master Blasters, even with that death, still
across the 50 up here. They got sub, tank, and little rolly.
And then you can see on your screen the last couple players left alive for Adrenaline just trying to hold the line. They need to try to drop a shot in on that 50-yard line sub side. That is the person they're really concerned about, but they're crossed up. It's the proper form in this situation. 3 minutes, 47 seconds left to go. Must-win situation here for Adrenaline for sure. And here is that player in the sub. So he's been doing a good job in there. Definitely has some pain. It looks like he's doing some surgery on his gun, though. But you can see those other 2 bodies stacked up, the tank at the 50-yard line. So they have time to work with here. This guy needs to get his gun up and working. Got to find out a way to close. They need to filter another body over here to the trench side.
Yeah, that's somewhat, yeah.
This side's completely open. But I don't know where that body's got to come from somewhere.
There still is an Adrenaline guy on this back corner back here somewhere, I think.
Let's see if we can. Yeah, so this player's still doing surgery on his gun here. Now down to 3 minutes left to go.
Maybe they don't have a guy on this back corner because Doyle's.
I don't think so.
Doyle's wrapping around on the outside here, so. Is it just the 2 Adrenaline guys?
I think it's just those 2 players left alive over here.
Yeah, they definitely need to. They have a pretty good little cross though.
I mean, if this is Doyle, if I was Doyle, I would try to actually. You only are worrying about the back corner, okay, or just run through this way. But they're crossed up. They have to be careful here.
Oh, here's the guy in a ditch as well.
All right, so this is the move that they needed to have happen. He's checking off in front of him. If no one shot at you and you're in that spot, you could probably keep going.
Oh, there you go.
But he's got a good angle crossfield.
Yep,
So this is exactly what we just talked about. Somebody has to come through the ditch to close out this game.
They played that really well. They closed that out really well.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Well, it was a must-win situation for Adrenaline.
When I think
so
of blasters,
it's not
I
gonna be good for
don't
them.
think of finesse. I'll throw this out there. I don't think of finesse, but that was beautiful.
The close was.
The close was
good.
good.
The close was good.
Well,
that
and
was,
even going body for body, they still kept attacking the right spots. I mean, obviously the guy dying in the ditch was a bad timing, but he was making the right moves.
I agree with you. So let's think this blow for blow, right? So in the center, you had the player stealing the initiative away. He came and bunkered out Nicky Vegas, which was a good move.
Yep.
And then they won more gunfights, so they put themselves in a good high body situation.
Then they made
and then they had to do
very bold move on Colt.
But they had to do something because Colt already had a 2-pack. He goes up and stitches the 50, and then he shoots the tank. Colt was a big problem, so they had to do some sort of bold move to get him off the field. They did it, worked. They lost the body. That's fine. But then Adrenaline, they won a couple more gunfights, and it all worked out for them. So that was
what else is cool is
game.
I looked over while we were doing the commentator, and there was 150 people all along the sidelines just watching with pins dropping. So
yeah, there's definitely quite the crowd here now. So yeah, it's been a beautiful but slightly chilly Florida morning here at Central Florida Paintball for the 2020 Sunshine Classic here, the first event of the season. I'm Matty Marshall. I got Tom Cole, the president of the NXL, up here with me. But yeah, I really like what you're doing here with helping keep this 10-man thing alive. And starting to thrive, too.
Yeah, I'm happy it's growing. There's a lot of industry people that play this, which is also interesting.
It is pretty cool to see, guys like the Carbon guys out here and, all the guys like the MVPS, the guys that run the league. They have a 10-man they put in. It's all their staff. So, yeah, it's just cool. That's, again, one of the special things about this. I mean, practicing definitely helps, but you can come play 10-man if you haven't got some practices in.
For sure. Like we just said, I think Adrenaline took a 10-year practice break.
10-year hiatus, and they come back and put a win up. Oh, yeah.
People at the NXL were like, we didn't get enough reps in last week, and that's why we didn't do well. These guys, I didn't get enough reps in this decade.
But I still got this ring.
Still got this ring this time, so.
So now we got a game between.
It is getting harder, though. We make those jokes, but it's these teams are definitely up in the level.
Oh, for sure.
Play.
Yeah, but that was as the squads are evolving, because guys are realizing what they need to contend out here to actually have a chance. But then we're also seeing a bunch of fun stuff happen, like a bunch of damage guys playing on the Cat Factory with Dave Baines playing, and it's just. And that's across the board.
Well, even that, I mean, if you look at it, teams like the Ironman and Sabre Wolves and even Aftershock who are playing with the same rosters, they had been doing better than the Dream Team pickups with Cap.
For sure.
Cap is probably doing well this time because not only because they have Rodney, but also because they've picked up some of a lot of damage guys at the same time.
So jumping into this next match right now with Team
Smoke versus Ground Zero.
Yeah, Team Smoke. So
Ground Zero 24K.
Yeah, so Smoke is on the left and Ground Zero 24K is on the right.
I think Ground Zero has dropped one guy and Smoke has dropped one guy. But Smoke is making some pretty good moves up here.
Couple repositions here for Smoke on the sub side of the field. Couple secondaries. Looks like they lived through those moves. So it is, I believe, 9-on-9 right now. Well, they're going to be losing another body here for Ground Zero 24K on the right-hand side of your screen when we're looking from the standard viewpoint. And then now it looks like Smoke's going to double up in the tanks.
Tank, yeah.
So as we've seen, that tank is very makeable off the break. Only a couple bodies all tournament long have got shot off the break in that attempt. And it seems to be the first place where teams can attack safely. But a body coming off, so just as I say that, somebody loses a gunfight from that tank.
Yeah.
That's my first commentator curse of the day. Yeah, it's a safe spot. Oh, yeah, sorry, guy just lost.
The tank's a pretty solid spot, for sure.
Yeah, you guys did a good job making that thing.
That's my dad.
Yeah. He's the carpenter in the family?
Dad built the tank. Well, everybody's basically a carpenter other than me.
in the Cole family?
The whole Cole family. My brothers, my one brother's in the Air Force, but all my uncles, all my cousins, all carpenters.
My dad was also a carpenter.
Really?
Well, he worked in construction when he was working his way through college, so he learned that was his trade, to work his way through college.
Nope, that's how we work our way through life.
Yeah.
It's handy.
Yeah, basic. Oh, looks like another body coming off.
I thought he was in there clean, but then suddenly,
well, they
doubled it up though.
Yeah,
Boy,
double
that was
moves for
bold.
ground
Yeah.
zero. They lose the trench, but they do take the snake. So
Oh.
snake 50 is hot right now for ground zero. He does have that body he needs to worry about in the center. He could get that kill on the tank.
Both ground zeros taking the tank too. So they've taken everything.
Ground zero riding reckless right now. I think their tank player getting checked out by the ref, and it looks like he is clean. And this player in the snake could back up off of this spot and have a shot in on that tank, but he's got to be really
tank guy is
careful.
all over him.
Yeah, he's on him right now, but we saw Colt get a kill from this same exact
Yeah.
angle in
Yeah.
this last match. Or what
With no
could
barrel.
happen is since with no barrel, is that since this tank is focused on the snake, the ground zero player could come around and bunker him out and maybe get him clean. Does have a body to worry about on that sub side, but the sub side player who's in the backfield is also looking towards this snake.
Yeah,
Now he's coming around a little bit.
These are the 3 key words that make things like this work. Tank is on me. Tank is on
Yes,
me.
that's exactly.
That's all the information you need to give, right?
Yeah, he needs to look across so he can see the guy and say, hey, the tank is on me. Why don't you go get that guy?
Yeah. Well, even, I mean, yeah, you're hoping the guy gets the fact that his tank's on me to go get the guy. But
yeah. So, ground zero has.
I will say this: it's easier in the commentator booth.
That's
when I'm down there, you instantly do everything.
Tom,
the
you
wrong
played
way.
long enough to be allowed to criticize.
It's definitely easier watching than it is trying to make decisions when you're out
That
there.
is very true. Absolutely.
Adrenaline gets going. You can't see nothing. Leaves.
Yeah. Especially when you're playing in a hyperball tube.
Yeah.
Because it gets real loud in there when multiple
really
people are shooting
loud,
at you.
yeah.
Especially if
Ooh.
they're close. Here comes a big counter move right now from Smoke,
Yeah.
from Brimstone, as they get all the way up. And he might have just got a shot in the head of the tank. I think maybe bounced him, though. I saw that player's head go forward a little bit. Now he's repositioned, so that's a really nice move here from
Really
Team
good move.
Smoke.
And now the snake guy is up. Oh, the ground zero snake guy is up on the tank guy for Smoke. So
Oh, and he finally gets that kill, so that's an awesome kill here from Ground Zero.
This is Mooner up here in this corner here.
Mooner, legendary New York paintball player. Used to be Ground Zero's best player back in the
He
day.
just got eliminated, but yeah, he's still making moves, making it happen.
That's a big kill. So that's two
Yes.
bodies that have come off this side. They lost their trench guy, and now they've lost Mooner. They still have the snake, and the snake just got the kill on the tank. So Ground Zero's still looking pretty good. They own the tank now. No one's in there with them, and they also own the 50 snake. They've lost a couple bodies, but if they can filter, they have bodies in that backfield to filter up. This is another key spot about, or type of strategy for this field. The back players have to follow up the front players.
So did Smoke just lose? Smoke lost the tank.
Yes,
I
the
missed
snake
that
player.
one,
The
yeah.
snake player came out and finally got the drop on him. And now we're on the sub side, getting a look here, and you can see that Smoke has this body here though. In the, they have the 50 on the sub side.
50 sub side. Oh, and they just eliminated the back.
So
the
that's
back sub side back guy.
and
Yes,
that's
so
a huge
big
kill.
move.
That's a
Big
that's
kill.
a good kill here for Smoke, because now that's the sub 50 can wrap around. He doesn't have to worry about that angle. That was the guy that had the best shot on him. So that was a massive kill for Smoke, because that guy needs to produce kills from that position. Ground Zero has the tank. Ground Zero has the 50 snake. If that Team Smoke player doesn't do anything from that 50 sub, they're probably going to lose this match. So there he is on your screen. He's wrapping around, and he's got a ton of freedom in there because there's no one down that sideline to contend with him. And so Ground Zero knows that. So Ground Zero is going to try to
filling
position the
out
body
that
that
side,
way.
yep.
It's going to be, that's a long run though. For him to get to the next back bunker across is like a 50-foot run. Well, they're talking it up. They're trying to figure out where these bodies are, but they have to find a way to neutralize that player at that sub. I mean, depending on where the back players for Smoke are and which angles they're shooting, I mean, the tank maybe even could go try to bunker that guy out of there from that run. I mean, that'd be kind of a risky move, but somehow they have to find a way to kill this guy on your screen here who's at the 50 sub. Now 5 minutes to go. Yeah, so the sub just over the top, man. No one's putting any pressure on this guy to Brimstone Smoke. He's in a real good position here, and he's the only player on his team in a good position Oh, and they get the kill on a body in the center, so that's huge for Smoke.
Yeah, that guy was playing quite squirrely in there. I felt like he was going to get some kills out of there.
This is the lineup on the trench and the snake side. So that's the snake dead center of your screen, the hyperball construction. And you can't really see the whole trench from this angle, but that's the insert bunker on that trench side. And that is Team Smoke. So Team Smoke, they have a body to potentially make this move in here, but he has to worry about that 50 snake. That's why he's being very careful. That 50 snake is peeking over the top. He's looking inside. He just lost his teammate from the center of the field. So he's in the best position for ground zero. So he's in the same, essentially, he's got the same issues that the guy in the sub has. He's the farthest up on his team. He's going to be taking the most pressure, but he also has the most opportunity as well. Oh, now they're past the 50-yard line here as Brimstone Smoke is on to ground zero side of the field. He's laying down. That's not a great gunfighting position, but he doesn't have to worry about anyone out wide on that sideline because ground zero, the closest player to him for ground zero is pretty much in the back, not the back center stand-up, but he's in a back stand-up bunker, which means that's why he's able to make that move across the 50 and lay down.
It is hard. This rollie here for ground zero also protects that a little bit. Oh, wow.
Well, ground zero player, he went like he thought that snake was hot to clean it out. And he was up there for a little bit.
Really precarious position if there is a guy on this back.
There is a guy still, I think, on this back line. Oh. And now here comes a move. Maybe not, though, as we pan over. Yeah, I think that player is no longer in there. So they must have shot that guy out of his spot, or maybe he transitioned. So it's going to be up to this Brimstone Smoke player who's now past the 50-yard line.
Well, and the Brimstone Smoker picked up the breakthrough there and is pulled back to the back spot and just engaging that guy. So maybe he could contain that breakthrough there.
This is a pretty interesting strategic development here, as we haven't really seen a ton of this. Each side of the field is kind of blown open for these squads. So ground zero has blown open the trench side, and Smoke has pretty much blown open the sub side. But who is going to close? Who's going to get these kills to close? Here goes ground zero with the transition over.
Yep. Oh, but here comes the Smoke guy coming right through.
And this one ground zero player, he needs to look over and contend with this guy, and he finally is able to basically shoot him into the ground. So that means that ground zero should be able to take this win unless this last player for Smoke can pull off something miraculous.
It's a 2-on-1 right now with him.
Ground zero trying to close, and they're able to get that last kill and get the flag pull. So
that might be rosy.
So like we talked about, this trench side is huge to close games. It's tough to get over here. It's tough to live, but we just saw that guy make his move up into the snake. He lived, and I mean, pretty much just won the game for ground zero.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Here, I got a discrepancy I got to go handle.
Alrighty, so we're going to reset here the 2020 Sunshine Classic, and next up is with the win here for ground zero, taking that victory against Smoke. But it's got a pro game coming out. The next battle, Fox 4 Darkside, going to be taking on Desert Edge here. GoSports.com. We'll be right back.
Center court for the second ICPL event is going to be the hybrid field. It's a mix between the woods and a hyperball field. Just like every field, there are 3 distinct sections of this field. The most important and the one we have to talk about first is the trench side. If you can make it into the trench, you can win the game. Now, also in the center, direct 50 of this field, you have a gigantic tank. It's going to be very difficult to get to this tank as it's kind of no man's land. There's not a lot of bunkers to get up into that tank. But if you get into the tank, you can shut down either the trench or the sub side of the field. Now, the sub side of the field is also going to be tricky. At the 50-yard line, you have an important bunker that we are calling the sub. It's going to be difficult to get to that spot, but since a lot of attention is going to be put on that trench side and potentially up to that 50-yard line tank, people might be able to sneak up into the sub and change the game. Also, there are going to be numerous bunkers in the backfield, which people will start their attack. It's going to be a bloodbath here on center court for the second ICPL event.
So welcome back, 2020 Sunshine Classic here at Central Florida Paintball, the ICPL, the first event of the season of Matty Marshall. I got Mark Johnson here from AC Diesel, legendary Texas paintball player, new pro team coming in. It's not your first rodeo though, and you guys are looking outstanding here at this 10-man as well too. We're gonna be having Tom Cole, the president of the league as well, come out here for this next pro game between Fox 4, Dark Side, and Desert Edge. But how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Enjoying Florida.
Yeah.
Weather's a little different.
It's a little chilly out here.
Yeah.
You don't typically say it's a little chilly and Florida in the same sentence, but
it actually turns into a great day by the end of the day because it gets really nice. So
yeah.
It's awesome. We're having a great time. Love 10-man. Put the team together for this year. Tom and them guys opened up a few more spots, so we're out here just having fun before the year starts. You know, a little mix of AC Dallas and AC Diesel, so we're just a kickstart.
Yeah, well, you guys are looking. I mean, I don't know how you guys have been doing on all the other fields, but the one game I see out here this morning, you guys look phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, everyone is always asking me who looks the best and, you know, what team do you think could take this win based on what you've been seeing? And yesterday was Cat Factory. They're undefeated so far. Even going into today, they have 6 wins. But you guys look just as good as Cat Factory did on on the field where the finals are going to be going down.
Appreciate it.
What do you think's working for you guys out here?
Well, everybody on this team right here, most of these guys have been playing with each other for a really long time. And then 10-man, you know, it's all about communication and patience. So if I had to say anything, and we got a bunch of young dudes with some wheels. So if we want to take ground and do what we need to do, we're able to do that. So, you know, and we got GP behind us. So, you know,
yeah, you got
the
great volley up
mastermind,
there.
You know?
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's cool to see. Looks like we're waiting for something to happen out here before we get things going. We should be getting things rolling here pretty soon. But and you guys got the new pro squad coming in. Obviously,
yes, sir.
You know, you guys have been. Texas has really become the mecca of paintball, and as a Californian, it's hard for me to say that. But
y'all
just
still winning. Y'all still winning.
But so. You know, so many good teams and squads have come out of the great state of Texas, and it's really cool to see how hard you guys fought. And obviously, it looks like we are about 10 seconds away from the start of this game here, but it's just cool to see. You know, I know it's been a lot of hard work over the years, and you know, you've been on different teams over the years, but it's cool to see you guys get back in it.
For sure.
I know with those younger guys, so I can't wait to see what happens in 2020. But right now, jumping into this game, and you know, as we're starting to get through the prelims, so this is kind of do or die time for everyone. You want to put some wins on the board here.
For sure. Desert Edge made it to the snake on the break. Haven't seen that a whole lot. There's only a couple teams that are risking it, but they're actually made it there alive. So he's going to be a nuisance to them for a little bit.
Yeah, when you get to that spot, you don't really, just like all crucial front spots, you don't need to engage right away. You have 12 minutes to work with. You already took the risk to get there. You made it clean. Just hang out in your spot and let the play develop. Now, typically how this field's been breaking down is the tank. Almost everyone that goes to the tank off the break's been making it clean. We've seen 3 people die total all event long. Sometimes even double stacking the tank off the break. But so typically the tank's first, then snake, because the snake is a pretty easy insert from the roller. Look at this though. It looks like we are going to be, Fox 4 Dark Side is going to be losing a body here from that roller. So we just talked about that's the key insert spot. And then the snake wraps around. I think he just blasted that player at the stand-up in the center.
Yep.
I don't see a ref getting in there to check him out, though, so maybe he'll get another life. So
they definitely, Darkside knows it, that he's there. Desert Edge loses one trying to go up the middle and goes right into the trench right away.
Yeah, the trench is pretty crucial, especially on the close.
Correct.
So many games have been closed out from this trench side. You can do it from the center, you can do it from the sub side, but
the problem is right now is Darkside has nobody out wide on the trench side. So if this trench guy plays the outside, he can put a lot of pressure back into the center on the roller and the guy in the hood.
Yep. Got to be careful in here, as sometimes you get that first free engagement before anybody picks up and knows exactly where you are, and after that you're going to have a couple guns on you.
It's kind of, if you look right here, Desert Edge snake guy thinks that there is a guy right next to him. So he's like looking at him, wanting to shoot him. So
yeah.
This might be a little...
That almost happened yesterday. There was 2 guys actually in the snake. Their buddy filters in with them, and they started freaking out and started shooting at him, and he was in there like screaming at him like, it's same team, same team.
I'm here, man.
So yeah, good field position right now for Desert Edge here as they have the 50 snake, 50 trench, and guns are now shifting this way. So now the attack needs to start filtering up the rest of the field.
That was Nolan took it. Oh.
Yeah, the snake is still blasting the trench in front of him.
Yeah,
so they need to get this together over here.
Let him know.
Yeah, at least he's not shooting at his own guy. But yeah, good kill here as another Fox 4 Darkside player is coming off. So a little bit of an advantage, on a big advantage on the field position, and a little bit of an advantage here on the count. So, have you been liking this field though?
I love this one.
Yeah.
And you know, what I was telling Tom earlier is like, I love this field. Never had a problem with it. It's the woodsball field last year is a little sketch, but now it's super awesome.
2 guys in the ditch.
Yep.
Yeah, Desert Edge is playing some of the most aggressive paintball on this side of the field that we've seen all tournament long. And they are really pushing it hard over here, as he might have caught one. See, this is the thing. You got to be careful.
Tough.
You know, look, all the risks to get there, and then you lose your first engagement.
Exactly.
You have 8 minutes and 37 seconds to work with. That's a needless death here from Desert Edge. Now, they still have a body over here, so that's good.
Could have slowed down, been patient, and just been alive there for a little bit, he would have got another kill.
Exactly. If he had just chilled out for just another 30 seconds.
We got there and saw the gun turret guy running, so he got all excited. I can't say I would have done the same.
So now Fox 4 Darkside playing defense, really hoping that catch some guys making mistakes like we just saw.
Desert Edge has got it all. They're coming.
They're pushing the snake side pretty heavy.
Yeah, snake side, strong side right now for Desert Edge. They need to filter. They need to filter bodies up on the rest of the field, though. Need to get out, get a guy up into the tank, and start pushing bodies, because all these guns have now shifted towards the snake and trench side. Now is the time to start making moves on the rest of the field.
Yeah, literally, I could see 4 guns from here that are all shooting right at.
And that's the point. That's why you set the strategy up that way. If you're going to do all this risk, you want the reward of getting those other free moves.
We need to be moving on that other side. I see no movement on the other side of the field right now from either team.
Well, sometimes you take all your best guys and you put them on one side, and then you're left with, you know, us older chubby guys to try and make the moves on the opposite side.
Tom, hurry up and move up. I'm trying. I'll be up there eventually. Give me a second.
As soon as my wheelchair lock comes off, I'll get up there. But yeah, it's
one of the coolest things to me right now, I look out at that field, is all that pink paint all over the bunkers. It's just so bright.
So bright.
I love it. I love it. I love that we're shooting pink paint out here. I don't like the staining on my hands, but the paint is.
I was going to say, well, then you go home and people look at you like you have a disease. They're like,
exactly.
Why are your hands pink?
Yeah, we were going to use it at the NXL this year, and then I had second thoughts after playing the ICC. I was like,
we can go orange. Definitely go orange.
So still, situation is the same. All the guns have shifted here, but now Desert Edge able to utilize those guns shifting towards the trench side, and they make the tank. So that's ideal. This is what you would like to see happen if you're a Desert Edge fan. Here's 6:24 to go. Referee is going to come in and check out a player for Fox 4. And it looks like he's clean.
Desert Edge definitely got the one-armed gat advantage on him there somehow. I don't know how that happened. This guy's been set on that ditch guy the whole time, and then suddenly.
So the ditch player's backing up a little bit here in this trench, and now he's going to pop up top. Got to be real careful.
There is a spot there. You can use that tree
Absolutely.
a little bit to try and.
But this is what I was scared of. Yeah, so you have to be very careful when you come over the top. You pop the top on this trench when you know you have two guns looking your way. Yes, you can utilize the tree to block out a couple of those inside angles, but that berm is not very big on top of that trench.
No.
Mark, where are you playing on this field?
I'm playing the other side,
Okay.
sub side, kind of a back guy coming up, a little different. You know, a lot of people look at me and they're like, oh, he's going up to the center. I'm like, I'm going to change it up so I at least don't get shot. You know, I want to play, you know.
So Desert Edge still has this body here at the 50-yard line. They still have the body in the tank, but that bad death out of the trench gives them a little less offensive capabilities here, and they still don't have much penetration, I believe, on that sub side. Did you guys see any moves yet on that sub side for Desert Edge?
Not at all.
That could give an opportunity here for Fox 4 Darkside, but they've just been in this defensive posture ever since those first big moves. But now they just made a nice move out to this tree. This tree insert bunker here on the trench side is a pretty crucial spot.
100%. Now, if this guy in the tree, I don't think Desert Edge, do they have a wire over here on the snake side?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He could take this guy out of the snake if he comes into this roller right before the trench.
Well, he's looking down the sideline. No one's putting any pressure on him.
At all.
So he's able to wrap around, and now he might be able to get a shot here on that snake. He's going to move up and try for that attempt.
Yeah, there it is.
So he comes up to the insert right behind. He puts the snake in. He did not make his first shot, and he has to be kind of careful. This spot, it can get real small. We see multiple guys go to this position and play a little too loose in there and get clipped. So it's a good spot, and there's a lot of offense you can produce. And there you go. He gets the kill from there. It's a really beautiful job here, Fox 4, turning the tables now on Desert Edge. So you can see eyes to the sky in frustration.
Here comes the move on the tank, into the tank. Fox 4 goes into the tank.
Stumbling, able to make it in clean though. Let's see if he can wrap around. Who's going to be the first to go?
Oh, sub just got shot from Desert Edge. This guy over here on the trench side is winning the game for him right now.
yeah.
187 is, or Fox 4, sorry. Fox 4 is
a little Freudian slip there.
A little Freudian slip, yeah.
So it looks like it is
I think they
Brian
actually
Weeks.
merged with another team.
So Brian Weeks is having a game right now. Brian Weeks here for Fox 4 Darkside, really helping his team out. And Fox 4 did a good job of bending and not breaking. There was a lot of aggression for Desert Edge, but they played tight, able to stay alive. Some mistakes, though. Desert Edge made some mistakes to allow this to happen.
I think he just got shot in the head.
Weeks here in the snake?
I don't see anything on him.
On the inside.
Well, here comes
a lot
the
of
move.
splatter going on around here.
Here comes the move past the 50-yard line here, doubled up actually, and a big full send in the center of the field for Fox 4 Darkside as they are trying to find these last couple bodies on the staggered attack, and they send 3 bodies through that center. This is another way you can close this field. There goes Henry Sense. Henry Sense is trying to get this last player. He might be getting pulled. He gets checked by the referee there. They rip off his armband, and Weeks is still alive. They also have another body pushing up on the sub side as well. I think they cleared it out.
Penalty on.
Penalty on Sense.
Yeah.
So it looks like Henry Sense getting pulled or getting a shot, gets a penalty that pulls out Weeks. But it looks like Dave Painter was still alive, and they had 2 other bodies still alive too. So yeah, Fox 4 Darkside, bend, don't break. That was a perfect job for them. They sucked the aggression or took the aggression from Desert Edge, and a couple mistakes cost Desert Edge though.
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit more about AC Diesel for anyone tuning in. Break the team down, player-wise, for people.
Okay, so we have 6 guys returning from last year, which is myself, Sean Saucedo, Clinton Johnson, Cam McCarty, Nathan Roberts, Mark Bazinski, Iceman. So that's the 6, and we picked up Ben Challenger.
Yep.
Austin. Don't give me a line. He was played on the U19 team last year. Really
Austin
good kid.
Betty.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Austin Betty. My bad, brother. And then we picked up Jeremy Zimmerman. Jeremy Zimmerman has been around for a long time in the AC program. He just, life challenges and stuff. Now he's back where he needs to be, and he wants to play up top with us. So that's our guys. That's who we're going with, and we're ready. We're ready to have fun, man. Ready to learn.
If you had to pick, a starting 5, maybe start D side, work your way over to snake side, who would be your starting 5 right now? I know that's to be determined, obviously, who's playing the best, but
I would definitely go with Mark Bazinski and Clint Johnson on that side. If you want to go snake side, or definitely Sean Saucedo, myself, Cam, Jeremy. I mean, I can't pick.
It's good to have options.
The reason these guys are playing here is because I have faith in every one of them to come learn together. It's going to put in the work. We know we're challenged for sure ahead of us, right? Totally different division, totally different pace of the game. So we're going to learn. Every one of these guys are ready for it. Nobody has a chip on their shoulder. Nobody's, they're ready, man. They're young kids. They've been grown up in paintball a different way. It's not like the older guys and stuff. So these guys are ready and hungry. So, and we're humbled with the whole thing. So of the challenge. So for sure.
Yeah, it's just a cool story, and looking to see how it does play out. And you guys are going in eyes wide and understanding the challenge in front of you, because it's tough. And it's the 20 best paintball teams on planet Earth. One team will get relegated at the end of the year, and I'm sure you guys will.
We're hoping not to be that.
I was going to say, no, you guys are going to fight and to not be that team. But with the talent that you have on that squad, we've seen a lot of those guys out on the big stage before. So you have a lot of potential on that squad. I know how hard you guys work at it. So I think it's awesome for the AC program, and it's just a really cool thing. So.
I'm excited about it. I've been here. I've been in the pro division a few times. This will be the 4th pro spot I won on different teams. We won one over in the European series as well. Then we got kicked out. So, anyways, that's a whole different.
Finds a way to get a dig in. Everybody finds a way to get a dig.
That's a whole different story. That's actually why we're here at this league here, because I said, Tom, if we can't play over there, can you help us get? And so he was like, yeah, let's see. We're looking at bringing more teams in. So that's kind of why we're here today. So this is probably the best team I've ever played on with the best group of guys. No matter how it goes, we're all still humbled. We're still going to be buddies as soon as we walk out of that gate.
For sure.
Yeah, so.
It's going to be fun the first time you have to play AC Dallas.
I was hoping it would have been the first
tournament. I was hoping too.
Like, why wouldn't an NXL not make that happen? Go Sports.
It's fate. Brother, it's fate.
And make
whatever comes out of the hat.
Game on Friday, and then at that point.
We're way smarter than that. We're going to have both of you in the finals in the Texas event. I got the grandstands full.
That would be pretty amazing.
Full.
If we're in the finals of the Texas event, I'm good with whatever happens. Because to come play in that division and make it there that quick, that's unheard of, right?
Yeah, that's never happened. Now it is,
Well, that's not true. That's not true. Aftermath came right up and made
it.
They made it to the semifinals.
True.
They made it to Sunday.
They took third.
Yeah.
They made it Sunday, but then they didn't win a game the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Well, let's dwell on the positive here.
Hey, I want to know both. I'll talk negative and positive.
You're the stats guy.
Yeah.
I don't talk to my buddies on Aftermath about the losses. I talk about the
wins. Yeah.
Hey, that 3rd place, they look phenomenal. So I will definitely give them that. But it is interesting. We had Elevation come in 2 years ago, and a lot of people were thinking these guys don't deserve to be here. That was the chatter, and that's what the haters were saying.
And then right away they beat AC Dallas.
Well, and then they go and they take
game.
Well, they make Sundays 2 Sundays in a row. So it was kind of cool to see. But then they obviously they lost a bunch of their guys, and it didn't work out for them. But it's always an evolving story.
You do notice that people start watching you more as you do better, right? They just discount you at first, and they start scouting all the other teams, and then suddenly you start making a Sunday, and they start scouting you a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And
they know what
they start stealing your players. Because all of Elevation starters got stolen off that team.
Yeah. So we have.
So now we are jumping into this next game. It's
Destiny
Aerosol
on the red side.
Yeah, Aerosol Factory is on the right-hand side, and Destiny is on the left-hand side. Destiny looked pretty good in their first game out here in Aerosol Factory. Their front players were looking pretty good. They lost too many bodies from the backfield, and that cost them.
Well, I don't know. Remember their one big back guy just made a mad run through the center? That was impressive.
He did almost make it all the way
almost
the
make
backfield. You start those runs, you're like, all right, I'm going to get one, and then you're like, I can't believe no one shot at me yet. And then you run another 30 feet, still no one shot at you. You're like, where are these other bodies? I think I was going to get this far.
Start losing your footing. You're like, oh, what's going on? I'm still going. Oh.
Well, Aerosol in good position here at the tree right away on the trench side. So no one taking the tank, though, off the break. No one really taking much ground at all here. A little bit of forward progression on the sub side. Oh, that they lose that body. So Destiny losing a couple bodies here early.
Oh, yeah, they lost a center back guy and a sub guy.
And now
Aerosol definitely making the move to the tank now, capitalizing on some of those bodies being dropped.
So Aerosol, the tank player, looking towards the trench side of the field. And the Aerosol Factory trench players were trying to get after it in their first game. They were making moves, they were trying to push up. Again, unfortunately for them, they just lost so many bodies behind them, and then they were low bodies, not enough time trying to create in a bad situation. But now they're looking really good here with those first early kills. See, are they going to be getting a body into the snake, or is this player at the tree going to move up here on the trench side? So
I just want to actually point out something real quick, is the awesome camera that Go Sports has out on the field.
Our eye in the sky?
Dude,
our cable
that
cam?
thing is a game changer.
I haven't got to see the footage of it yet.
It's so awesome.
Darren Cesenia, you got to go pat him on the back,
Already
because
did.
he's been working, Frankensteining that thing together. Because, you know, look, we try as hard as we can here, and we're trying to bring the highest level production we can, but you know, we're doing what we can with what we have.
Sure.
So we can't go buy the $250,000 cable cam the NFL uses. We got to figure out another option.
Make one. And he talked about if it goes well here, they may bring it into the NXL.
Oh, that's the plan. That
So
is
that'd be
absolutely the plan.
super awesome.
This was kind of the trial run. I know a woodsball field is not exactly the easiest trial run for something like that, but, well, we had an event coming up. Well, why not give it a roll of dice and see
Especially
if it
with
works
that
out.
long run across there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a great job, though.
So now Aerosol's doubled up that roll, the roller, insert bunker to the snake, so that means they'll probably be flooding a body into the snake here shortly. Player at the tree who got there off the break here behind the trench is still there, but he hasn't really been feeling much pressure. He's been rolling out on the side. And now here comes the move into the snake for Aerosol. Got to let Mark Johnson go do his thing, man. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys are going to play out there this year. I've always been a fan of how you've been playing the game, so keep holding the line for everyone.
Thanks for everything you guys do, and see you soon.
All right, man. Good luck out there. So yeah, Mark Johnson, AC Diesel going to be playing out here. Sorry, AC Empire going to be playing out here, but it's a mixture of AC Dallas and AC Diesel. But they looked phenomenal in their first match, Tom. So definitely one of the favorites out here for sure.
Yeah, no, that'll be cool. Oh, wow, that's a shame. Destiny and the other guy were in the Destiny Aerosol, both in the snake. Wanted to see how that was going to break down, but snake guy got shot as soon as he got in there.
And then now they're going to...
Aerosol's now in a ditch.
Yeah, now I think this is... yeah, I thought that was Walker, but it's not. So yeah, they're able to get bodies into the trench and the snake, and they control. Oh, and the trench is wrapping around and getting a real nice angle on those players in the center. Destiny is just getting their bodies chewed up here. Aerosol looking real solid in this one. Aerosol also making a move on that sub side as well. You can see here, we're talking about that cable cam. Here it is on your screen, our eye in the sky. From, you know, a little look here at the player for Aerosol. He's at that tank and he's looking towards the sub side right now. Actually, no, sorry. Now he's going to switch the other way. Now he's looking towards the snake side.
Aerosol just looks like
they're sharking down the field.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're doing this is what the game plan's supposed to look like on this field. Win a couple, take some ground, win a couple gunfights, and then filter bodies forward, and they did it perfectly. They haven't even
Aerosol
really
just lost
that
their back guy, but
I think that's Turbin running through right now, trying to finish things out. Josh Turbin. Yeah, so Aerosol Factory.
Yeah, just made that happen.
Yeah, looking real good out here. Outstanding performance. And they didn't really make any mistakes.
No, that looked good. That looked really good.
Yeah, they took ground, won gunfights, made the correct moves at the correct times, didn't die in their bunkers. Once they got into those key spots, it was pretty much a flawless victory. I think might even have 10 alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A perfect game for Aerosol Factory. Those are always nice ones to have.
What? It's scary when I see Chris Rail on the field.
Yeah, what's Chris doing out there?
No idea.
If Chris Rail's goggles on and he's out on the field.
Look at that. Look at the big move by Chris.
So again, hats off to Aerosol. That was an amazing game.
That was really good.
Against Destiny. And Destiny did not look bad in their first game.
Nope, that was by no means a give me.
Yeah, so now we're just talking about them. AC Empire going to take the field, and they're going to be playing Northwest Rogue. So Northwest Rogue fought against the All-Americans. All-Americans ended up winning that game,
but it
was a close one. It was a battle. So what is Northwest Rogue going to have against AC Empire? Well, we're about to find out. That's the game that's going to be going down here shortly, and yeah, the players are now spilling out on the field for both of those squads. So let's talk a little bit. Yesterday we talked a little Europe. It looks like we got at least a minute or two here. Let's talk about the States. So different location for the Texas event.
Yeah, so we're going to go to Round Rock. We've had, put this the PC way, we've had some challenges with weather in the Dallas location.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we've just been blasted with rain every time we've been there. And you know, it's a rainy time for there to begin with, but it's, you know, we're somewhat limited in our time slots so we can go. And, you know, if you go there a couple times and you get bad weather, it's, you know, Mother Nature's fault, you know. But if I went back there again, matter of fact, everybody probably already is my fault, but if I go back there again and it rains again, you know, they're going to carry me out of there on a stretcher.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that because, okay, so look, yeah, there's a limited, like, flush out the conversation about when you say a limited amount of gaps or windows to put events in certain places. You have to do an event in Texas.
You have to do an event in Texas.
You have to do an event in Texas. It's the middle of the country, obviously. There's a ton of teams in the Texas area. So, you know, obviously you want to be able to cater to one of the most thriving paintball markets on planet Earth, which is that area.
Which is the Texas
Which
market.
is the Texas area. That's become kind of the new mecca of paintball.
It's one of our biggest tournaments.
Yeah, it's a big tournament of the season. So, but there's only so many places, because you have all these other sites that you have to work with. Only certain times you can use those. So it's a big puzzle you have to put together.
We kind of have to hit a West Coast event. I mean, we need a West Coast event, so that's our Vegas event. And weather-wise and logistics-wise, this makes sense for us to go from Vegas all the way back to the East Coast on that early time slot, right? Because it's a May date. So May date anywhere except for the South really has a chance of being cold and crappy.
San Diego.
Other than San Diego. And we're already in Vegas. And San Diego is pretty expensive as a venue.
I know.
So Vegas is our first venue for the year, and it's because it's basically freezing everywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's a good place to go. And as teams from the East Coast put it, if we're going to go suck somewhere, it's better to go suck in Vegas. That way we got something to do afterwards.
Yeah, that's very true. No. So we got all day to talk, so we'll flesh that out a little bit more. But getting back into this 10-man battles out here in center court on this hybrid field. We're at Central Florida Paintball 2020 Sunshine Classic, first event of the season. And
neither team took a lot of ground here. I mean, they played it safe, went to the outside.
Yeah, so this is AC Empire and Northwest Rogue.
Empire got the first dropped their first body right out of the center.
Yeah, AC Empire is on the left, Rogue on the right. So Rogue was on the right for their last game as well, too, against the All-Americans. And though this field for a hybrid woodsball field is relatively mirrored up, some people I've talked to, they think that they favor the right-hand side. So
we've had games going both ways, correct? Though?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not one of those fields where it's like, oh, we lost the toss, well, we're going to lose this game.
Yeah.
Not at all. So AC had dropped that first body, and I didn't see any Rogue players walk off. So it's a 10-on-9 situation, favor of Northwest Rogue on the right-hand side of your screen. And with as well as AC Empire had played in their first game here, I'm looking forward to seeing, and then they are able to contain. Wow, that guy didn't even come close to making his secondary. He got shot in the head, took about 2 more steps, and then got shot 3 more times before he stopped his momentum in the tank. So not even close to making his spot, and that's going to even up the counts now 9-on-9. Big kill for AC Empire.
Definitely a momentum stopper, right?
Yeah, because now no one else is even close to position to get up in that middle.
And I think that was Carmen.
Carmen's still playing?
Yep, that was him making the move.
So now AC Empire are going to wait to see where they reposition. So it looks like they did just make a little bump across to the double stand-up on that sub side. And just content to be in their spots and roll their guns right now. not risking any bodies. And here comes an aggressive move into snake 1 for Northwest Rogue.
It's a good move by Northwest Rogue to get in that snake.
Yeah, that was a good move. That's, you know, it's pretty transparent what's possible out here right now. It's just, can you execute it? And the bump from the roller into the snake 1's not that far of a run, but you do have to pick and choose when you're going to run through because there are some angles to contain that move. So it was a nice little bump into snake 1 for Northwest Rogue. He's just hanging out that spot. Right now he's shooting inside. Hasn't crawled up to that 50 yet. We've seen a lot of guys, as soon as they get into snake 1, they just crawl right up into that 50-yard line. But the position and the crossfield shots, there is a blocker at that 50-yard line that does block a little bit of those up the field crossfield shots from there. So this guy's just gonna be shooting that inside shot from snake 1 right now. There's no one in position. It doesn't look like AC is in a position to want to take that snake. They're at the roller and they're shooting towards the trench. There's no one in the trench right now, so maybe a little miscommunication possibly, and thought that there's a guy in the trench. They are shooting that angle and kind of playing it like that might be hot. Northwest Rogue does have a body on this side. He's at the tree.
They do, but he hasn't made that move yet.
Yeah, that tree's a great position. Obviously, you're super close to the trench. You can go right in it. You can also get up to the insert bunker right on the trench, which is a new addition for this year. So now they go to that 50 snake. Per the crossfield communication, so they know that that's hot. So AC kind of playing on their heels a little bit more than they did last time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to watch their game. I came up just as their 10 bodies were running down the field, so you had built it up. So I was concerned about Northwest Rogue here, but Northwest Rogue has got the position and they got it going on, and Snake Eyes having some paint problems.
Yeah, this is a good look for Northwest Rogue because, yeah, AC played as good as Cat Factory did out here. And Cat Factory looked the best out of everyone yesterday. Cat Factory will make it on most likely into the top 9 because they're undefeated so far. So I think they had 2 more games left to play when I was looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
So I think even if they drop those 2, they'd probably still make it into the top 9. Player's still doing surgery on his gun here. I think he's finally getting that barrel back on there.
Like I said, everybody's been kind of having some problems with the paint because of the cold weather. No one expects it to be this chilly in Florida.
Yeah, it's so true. No one thought we'd roll up to Florida, even at this time of the year, and it would be 45 degrees when I woke up.
No, it was a shocker.
It is, but because we've been, this is not our first rodeo, so I basically always pack for rain and cold. Doesn't matter where I'm going or when I'm going there.
It doesn't matter what the weather says.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the weather says.
As you said, we get the Hopi rain dance going.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. You set a paintball tournament up, you were summoning the weather gods to potentially come and make it more interesting for you. But we definitely did, even though it is cold and that is affecting the paint a little bit, definitely seeing a little bit more paint breakage out there than we would if it was, 75 degrees out here. So same situation now as Northwest Rogue has been playing the aggressor. They tried to attempt to take the tank, and that guy didn't even come close, but then they got into Snake 1, and then immediately went in, not immediately, but worked his way into the 50-yard line. Snake, they still have a body over here behind the trench at the tree, an important insert tree spot. So Northwest Rogue looking real good. So yeah, Tom just pulled up the scores, and it looks like Cat Factory finally dropped a game.
No, I think they won the game. They just didn't win it.
It's
a stalemate.
Oh, okay, they got a stalemate.
Right,
well, still, that's a pretty amazing record. So, yeah, they're definitely going to be moving on. The Ironmen look like they've only dropped 2. That's good for them. Sabre Wolves have dropped 2 already, and they have 1 more to go, so they cannot drop that one.
Yeah, you have three games there where everybody's got dropped 2. Someone that dropped 2 is going to get knocked out.
Ground Zero Gold is undefeated, and AC Empire is undefeated. So.
Oh, there we go.
AC Empire calling in.
AC crawled into the snake.
Also,
he got caught by the.
So Tom, this also might be a situation. AC Empire playing their last game of the prelims right now, and they didn't show us any crazy aggression up, but they might be saving that.
Right.
Knowing, hey, we dropped this game, whatever, we're still going to make it in.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
let's not give away the game plan we're actually going to be using when we play on this field for
for
the
everybody.
yeah, for the
you can
important
bet
games.
that Rodney and Glenn are over here scouting.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, Greg Pauly's now at the Rolly, but once again, Northwest Rogue, who's I really like Northwest Rogue. A bunch of good guys, a bunch of good players. We got Dean in here again.
Yeah, Dean did good.
Dean's got the little lumberjack look going. Yeah, he played super great that first game. Got maybe a little too aggressive
Towards the end. Yeah.
I'm never gonna knock people for being too aggressive.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. No, Dean. Yeah, Dean. He definitely does have a lumberjack beard, and he did play well in that first game.
Yep,
so you ain't lying.
And so now he's got both the snake guy and the dish guy, and a lot of paint coming in. But that can only last for so long.
Yeah, Dean should just hang out in here and just stay alive. He's got bodies behind him. He's got a body right next to him in the snake, and he's taken a lot of these guns off of his teammates right now. So, and they have some time to work with. 4:07 to go left in this match. They still have some AC bodies to work out of their spots, though. So it is starting to get to time where they're going to need to start pushing the rest of the field. They have taken their ground over here. Now the moves need to happen for Northwest Rogue on that sub side. They need to get a body up into the tank, and they need to start flooding bodies forward on the sub side.
So I figured out my tagline. It's the ICPL is where the NXL coaches play. Almost every team has got an NXL coach playing
That's so
on it.
true. Dave Baines is on Cap Factory.
Yeah, you got Greg Pauly over
You got
here
Greg
on
Pauly currently playing right now on AC Empire, and then you also have Ryan Brand playing for Infamous and playing lights out for him too.
Last event we had Crandall playing for Dynasty.
Yeah, Ryan Brand saved Infamous in the game they played out here yesterday with that big move on the sub side of the field. So now we're getting.
Why is this guy throwing pods really far?
I don't know. I mean, the throw the pod trick, that can work sometimes, but in this specific instance, I mean,
he's throwing them far.
Yeah. If I was Dean or his teammate here in the snake side, I'd be yelling at my guys to start moving up in the center and on that sub side of the field.
Dean was just waiting to get his gun up here, and now he's got his gun up. So.
Well, it's having some sort of issue though. His loader potentially, or Dean is not getting any paintballs to come out of that. So now he's going to get closer. This is a really hard position to do gun surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, Dean is in probably the worst spot you could be in to have to completely take your gun apart. But he's fumbling around with it right now.
But he's little.
Yes.
He's little and he's hanging tight in there.
Yeah, he's playing it. He's doing this very intelligently. And it looks like he's got it up and running.
Does seem like everybody on AC Dallas seems to be shooting at him.
Yeah, those balls are, oh no.
And there he goes.
Poor Dean. He finally got his gun up, but he should have, no, actually, no, with 2 minutes and 6 seconds, he was doing everything.
Yeah, he was doing it right.
Yeah, he had to engage. I don't know what Northwest Rogue's point situation is looking like, but.
Oh, wow, AC Diesel's now coming, starting to make it. They just shut the ditch guy out and the snake guy out.
Yeah, AC doing a good job of bending and not breaking.
AC's now in the ditch.
So AC's going to crawl up here. Gonna into the 50-yard line in the trench. He's going to look inside and maybe get a crossfield kill. No, that player is tucked in just at the right time. And time ticking off the clock, 1 minute and 19 seconds left now. So I'm thinking stalemate on this one, Tom. I mean,
Yeah,
AC's trying for it. AC's trying for it. I mean, they're making moves. Pauly's looking to make a move in the center. They're filtering bodies forward. They have the 50 trench, but they still have a decent amount of Northwest Rogue players to try to work out. They are at least 5 bodies left alive right now for Rogue.
Yeah, and they're in good spots. And they're hanging tight.
Yeah, they're playing tight.
Wow.
They're gunned up.
And Sloviak just filled the ditch side back spot. It's going to make it really hard for him to come through.
Yeah, it was a good fill out by Nick.
Really good fill out. I think that's Sloviak. Tall, skinny guy and far in the back. So.
So locking up at the 50-yard line bunkers. AC Empire trying to find a way to close here.
Greg Pauly is basically the furthest guy on the field for AC. He was, at least.
They're going to try it right now. They're locking up. Here comes Johnson. Up to the 50, and this is now the question is who's going to start the attack.
Eliminated.
They might be losing their tank player as
Both
well.
tank guys just got eliminated. Wow, I don't know what happened there, but both tank guys just died at the same time.
Now here comes the attempt to come through. wrapping around, trying to put that player in at the turret. Still has to worry about Nick Sloviak, who's in the back spot, and I don't think he knows where he is, and then Nick's going to blast him. Free kill for Nick.
That's game, that's game, that's game, that's game,
Well,
that's
Nick-
game. That's game. Sorry,
Ben
you just
Challenger.
started shooting there.
Ben Challenger wanted to get after it right there. Yeah. So a stalemate here. That's AC Diesel / AC Empire / AC Dallas. That is their first stalemate of the tournament, as they were just rolling through people.
That's the best I've seen Northwest Rogue play the whole tournament.
Yeah, Northwest
Yeah,
Rogue.
they played great.
They did play pretty good. They, again, they took really good spots over here on the snake and in the trench, but they couldn't get any aggression going on that sub side and in the center. They attempted to get up to the tank, but once they got up into the tank, or actually the guy didn't even come close to making the tank, he got smoked. But then they didn't go back there at all, and they didn't attempt any attack on that sub side. So, so that was a game in progress.
Yeah.
So we're looking back at the scores here for these teams. Cat Factory, actually, we said that they stalemated their last game. Okay, we're wrong. They updated the scores. They actually maxed their last game, 100 points, a perfect game for Cap Factory. So they put up a 96, 96, 3 97s, a 95, and 100. That means they only lost, the most bodies they lost in the 7 games they played in one game was 5 bodies.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. They're lights out right now. So the Ironmen looking pretty good. They'll probably move on. We're still waiting for the Sabre Wolves last game, but the Sabre Wolves have stalemated 2 games. And then Chicago Aftershock also awaiting their last score, and it looks like they have 4 wins and 2 stalemates as well too, or potentially 2 losses. Ground Zero Gold looks phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a tough division up there. That first
That
one
is
is a lot. It's close.
That's a think about it. The Ironman, Cat Factory, Sabre Wolves, and Chicago Aftershock.
Well, it's weird because on paper, Cap Factory has always been a strong team, but realistically, they didn't do that well. So the seeding is what put them in that division, and now they're playing basically to what they should have been doing all along.
Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, and so now that's kind of making that a super tough division.
Yeah. So then in the other division, Farside, Infamous, Misfits have dropped 3, so they're on the bubble. Yeah, so it's going to be Ground Zero Gold, Farside, and Infamous. And then in the third division, All Americans dropped 1. AC Empire just stalemated this game. Master Blasters have dropped 2. And Adrenaline is really on the bubble here because, so I think Adrenaline has 1 more game potentially. Yeah, Adrenaline plays the All-Americans for our last game on this field.
So the Blasters beat Adrenaline, right? That was the game that we watched.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but so now Adrenaline has to go and play their last game against the All-Americans. It's the last game on this field before we move on to a short lunch break, and then we'll get into the top 9. So that's a huge game for Adrenaline. Do they even have a chance if they win that game?
I was about to say, I'm looking at this.
Let's just say they do, just because it'll make it more fun for you and I to watch that game.
Well, the Blasters have 1 more game too, so it's really going to come down to if the Blasters lose that game, they need the Blasters to lose the game, and then they need to win.
So 4 more games out here before we get into the top 9. Right now it's Undertow taking on the Wise Guys. Wise Guys are on the left. Undertow is on the right. So it looks like Undertow has a clean break, but the Wise Guys are going to take the tank. And he is immediately going to be looking towards that sub side. So actually, two bodies coming off right now for...
Just 1 for Undertow.
1 for Undertow, okay. So 1 body comes off for Undertow on the right. 9 players alive for them. And the Wise Guys here on the left looks like a clean break for them with 10 bodies, and they took the tank. So better situation.
Does fill the corner over here, so.
Yeah, key to have a body out wide to start things out. I mean, obviously you want your bodies out wide, but being out wide on this trench side early is kind of a big deal. That's why a lot of teams have started to actually take this tree off the break, which we haven't seen anyone get shot to that spot off the break.
No, I think that tree is pretty big.
Yeah. But every time that I tell teams that, I'm like, yeah, people are taking off the break, and I don't think not one player's got shot attempting it. Not every team is doing it. And they're like, really? I feel like that's a really long run. I'm like, well, all I can tell you is what I've seen out here, and that's what we've been seeing. So, Undertow. Not much ground, though.
I think Undertow just lost a guy going into the sub.
Okay, they still have a body over there on that side, up a couple bunkers at the stand-up, the farthest stand-up before the bunkers get real small. So that's a good position on the sub side, but he does have to worry about that tank. That tank is looking his way. So did the player run into the sub and get taken out from that tank? Because the tank is looking his gun towards the sub side.
No, I don't know how he got taken out.
Okay. Yeah, so Wise Guys with a body.
Actually, it was Wise Guy lost the guy.
Oh, okay, okay. So Wise Guys, that throws away their advantage. So Wise Guys on the left.
Yeah, Wise Guys lost the
Undertow
guy
on the right, and it's 9-on-9 with a bunch
Wise Guys have a
bunch
little
time.
bit of advantage.
Yes, Wise Guys with the tank. Yeah, that tank, again, off the break, no problem. So only 3 bodies have dropped off the break on those tank runs. So I think as we head into the deep rounds of the tournament, it might be a pretty good risk to try to take that spot. Could see both teams sending bodies there right away. So this is the battle on your screen developing here on the trench, snake side of the field. There's that turret bunker. Looking over the shoulders here for Undertow. Wise Guys, yeah. So Wise Guys still, that body in the tank still looking towards that sub side. But other than that, we haven't really seen too many moves out here. These guys, Tom, are just kind of feeling each other out.
Gun battle, gun battle, gun battle.
And neither team had double stacked the roller, so it's going to be up to, you know, if you have double stacked that spot, you have that extra body to try to filter into the snake.
Yeah.
And they don't really look like there's any sense of urgency.
Looks like they want to get into the snake.
Yeah.
Snake or the ditch.
Yeah. Both these teams, Wise Guys, Undertow, just feeling each other out. Gunfighting from long distance. Obviously, with that body in the tank, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Undertow on the right. With that Wise Guy player up there, they have to think about those forward moves a little bit more and figure out which way that guy's got his gun.
Oh.
Just don't want to give him any free kills.
Undertow looks like they might be thinking about trying to get the snake.
Yeah, so just kind of quiet out there right now. Got a little bit of a pillow fight out here in this match. So, looking for, eventually, Undertow has to do something about this tank. They don't have anybody in position to run up from that spot. The closest guy is pretty much in the backfield up in the middle.
Yeah, I feel like their plan is to attack through this snake and try and get the tank out that way.
Well,
the tank guy is just staying.
Good plan.
Subway.
Yeah, stay in subway. However, they need to, I mean, the player in the roller is, guy's body language, he's just totally content to sit in that spot. Now again, they still have 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to work with, so no reason to risk it quite yet. Yeah, it's also starting to warm up just a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's nice. The sun's coming up over our back there. And
this is perfect paintball weather, though. I know we were all whining and complaining this morning about how cold it was. Even the people from the East Coast were. So all you East Coast people out there watching me like, that's not that cold. I'm just parroting what the New Yorkers were telling me.
It's cold when you're sitting here. It's not cold when they're running around out there playing.
That's true. Sure. So, yeah, see in the back bunkers, by the body language, no one's looking to make moves right now. Everyone's just content to just shoot, liking to shoot their mechanical guns. And now they doubled up. So here we go. So Wise Guys are playing the aggressor here in this match as they did take the tank off the break. He's still alive. And then now they doubled up the roller and then sent a body into Snake 1.
Wow.
And then he crawls right in untouched into the 50-yard line. He's catching a little fire cross field, though, so it looks like...
Wise Guys making some pretty good moves here.
Yeah, it looks like Undertow does know that that body is in the 50 snake, but this is going to... With this position now, they're going to play even more defensive. So they're hunkered down in their spots a little bit more. Wise Guys with good position. Now it's going to be up to... Now they need to get a body into the trench. It looks like they do have a player at the insert bunker right behind the trench, so he's
and at the rollie.
Yeah, so they're in really good position right now here on the snake side, trench side. Getting under 6 minutes. Oh man, player at the 50 snake is living on the edge.
That was scary.
Don't come out in that lane again. Yeah, so now he's taking the more conservative approach and just leaning out, shooting left-handed cross field instead of popping the top.
Undertow now has the guy in a launch point for the sub.
Yeah, he's in. They have a good cross-field spread. They've only lost that one body. There's a ton of guys out there, and now they made a move up into the center and try to get a little closer, maybe run and take out that tank. He cannot do that move right this second because that player in the snake is looking inside. So player for the tank has now switched his gun over.
Undertow just lost that one guy that just moved up.
So
but now Undertow's definitely making good moves though.
Undertow making some counter moves. They get into snake one.
Now
They just made 2 separate moves on the D side slash sub side to a little more forward progression, but the running referee is coming in to check out one of their players.
Wise guys looks like they're definitely going to lose theirs.
Undertow just lost another body from that D side, so I think that might have been the snake getting that crossfield shot. But the battle developing in the snake. Oh, another running referee coming in. So Undertow was hanging tough in their gunfights, but now losing a couple bodies here. It looks like that player is clean.
He had a red pod. Oh, wow.
Wise guys send
Wise
a body.
guys are everywhere.
Yeah, Wise guys making, I like the secondary moves that these players have been making into these spots. Got another guy making a move to, looked like he was going to get into the trench, but content to sit at the bunker right behind it for now as we reach the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, Undertow really needed to bunker that guy out as soon as he got in there.
Snake 1 stands up over the top for Undertow to try to get a shot on the Wise guys player in the 50 snake, and then was begging the ref for a call, not getting it.
Yeah, he didn't hit him.
No, he didn't hit him. The referees are looking right at that. We can all see this guy right here.
Yeah.
He did not hit him. Now he's going to fully commit, and he's going to come over the top and bunker him out. And does he stay alive? Oh my God, this could turn the tables in this match if he can get that second kill on the tank, and he does. So two bodies.
Now Wise guys have taken the ditch, which we had just got asked if anybody was crossing over the snake, and they definitely had not been, but now they did.
So this would be a huge move here for this player from Undertow, and now Undertow is gonna take the tank themselves. So this is a good counterattack from Undertow, but
this is good.
Player is now past the 50 for the past the 50 here in the trench. This could get interesting. They have no idea that he's there.
He doesn't know he's there either.
We got an Undertow player here on the sideline just freaking out right now. I can't believe why guys are letting this happen. He comes in, he gets the kill, and he makes it almost all the way to the backfield, but he just completely went to sleep and he could have shot both the tank and the snake, no problem.
That was great. That was great.
Well, tell you what. After a little bit of a feeling out kind of pillow fight, this game got nasty all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was cool.
So in a chaotic kind of twist of fate here, player for Wise guys, well, the player for Undertow comes through the snake and dominates, gets 2 kills and really opens things up. And it looked like the Wise guys had completely blown the field open. They had. All he had to do was stand up and get those 2 free kills inside.
I don't even know he had to stand up. He just had to
just look over that way.
Yeah. There's an Undertow guy on the sidelines. He's like, there is no way my guy's living through this.
Yeah, we got Brandon Unger over here
like,
too for Adrenaline.
God.
The Undertow guy was just sitting there like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Wow. He thought he was probably thinking, oh, that's it. It's curtains for us. But yeah, so interesting turn of events here in that last match. And now we have just 3 more games to go on center court before we head into the semifinals and a short lunch break. And it's going to be Rhythm taking on the Master Blasters, Team Smoke versus Ground Zero Silver, and then Adrenaline in a must-win situation against the All-Americans.
The Wise guys are telling his own teammate about it. You had a guy right here, and a guy right here, and a guy right here, and a guy right here. You would have shot them all.
You know, you could have won us that game, right? All you had to literally just look inside. So close. Yeah, we got him over here right now. Yeah. So, next 2 teams coming out here. Yeah, we had one of the players over here talking us through it. Well, it looked cool. Yeah. Yeah. So now we're going to jump into this next one. Rhythm going to be taking on the Master Blasters.
Oh, it's a big game for Master Blasters.
Yes. this is definitely going to be a big game for Master Blasters for sure. And you know, we heard they've been playing well, so yeah, that's the game that's going to be going down. It looks like they are about ready to go. So, yeah, Master Blasters. What was the score again, Tom? Do you remember the scores and how bad of a must-win situation this is for the Master Blasters?
Well, I think it's not a must-win situation for them. They need to, if they win, yeah, let me double-check here before I say something. Everybody's in 2 losses in that, or there's 2 teams with 2 losses in that division. Actually, it looks like Adrenaline's got 3 losses. Yeah, so if the Master Blasters lose this and Adrenaline win, they could have a chance of not making it. But, yeah, because All-Americans are basically guaranteed in, and so is AC Empire. So then you have Master Blasters Adrenaline playing for that last spot. And, yeah, if the Master Blasters lose this, they'd be in a situation.
So we'll see. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here in this game. And, well, the teams are ready to go. See if we're about to jump in to this next match. Again, only 3 games remain in the prelims here on this hybrid field, which is center court for us at the first event of the 2020 season, the Sunshine Classic, here at the International Classic Paintball League. I'm Matty Marshall, got Tom Cole up here, the president of this league and the NXL. And if you're just joining us, thank you so much for helping support the 10-man revival, trying to bring you guys the best show that we possibly can. And we've seen some fun paintball here this weekend.
That game was really fun.
That game was fun. So hopefully the semifinals and the finals will be just as fun to watch. We will see. So yeah, so we were talking before, it looks like we have a couple minutes before the start of this next one. We're talking about a new location for Texas and the methodology that kind of goes behind trying to figure out the best place to have a tournament in that state.
Well, yeah, so you start with, you need really 7 weeks between events to try and make sure that everybody can afford to go to the next event. And then you start with the season starting in March, and then you got, you got Mother's Day and you got Easter. So you're working around a lot of holidays there.
Yeah.
And then you're trying not to be in Vegas for the more expensive rounds of the Sweet 16.
Yep, because that makes it more expensive for everybody.
All right, here we got the breakout right here.
Master Blasters and Rhythm. Master Blasters going to be on the right-hand side, Rhythm on the left. And it looks like both teams attempt to take the tank off the break, and it looks like
both teams lose 1 player.
Yeah, both teams losing that body, so it's 9 on 9.
So they're the tank guys have been making it all day. Now they both died.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the interesting questions tactically for this field as we move on to the top 9 into the semifinals, is how makeable is that tank going to be? Do guys figure out a new lane to shoot it? Are they willing to make that risk? Like we've been talking about, I mean, it's been a very makeable spot all event long. It's obviously a really long run off the break, but it's a gigantic tank right in the dead center middle of the field, so it's a pretty good blocker of the lanes. Another body coming off right now for Rhythm from that left-hand side. Also looks like that body drop from the sub side. So we'll see how this thing shakes out. A little 1-body advantage right now for the Master Blasters, and they need this win, because if they drop this one and Adrenaline wins, obviously depending on if body counts and they get the pull, could make things interesting on the scores.
For sure.
Good communication. The Master Blasters, they're talking it up, even though they haven't really taken too much ground. But they did risk a body here to get out a little bit farther up on that sub side. I mean, essentially you have stand-up bunkers until you get about past the 3rd spot up. And then once you get past that, everything's small, but getting to that sub is huge over there. It's a pretty crucial spot. I mean, one of the reasons that Chicago Aftershock was able to win this tournament in October was because they played so well on that sub side of the field. And now a move being made by the Master Blasters as they dive into the snake. And he makes it clean. Player repositions right behind him. Oh, but they lose 2 bodies behind him? Is that 2? Yeah, 2 bodies are walking off for the Master Blasters. So this is a big opportunity for Rhythm here.
Yeah, and Rhythm just got into the launch point for the sub.
Yeah, they're at that 40-yard line. So that's a very key spot on that sub side of the field.
And they just took the snake.
It's one of the better dives we've seen out here today.
It is one of the better dives.
So Rhythm in a good position right now on the sub side and countering the move for the Master Blasters and the Snake. They did just get those 2 kills though off this side, so I mean this could go well for Rhythm if they could get another kill. Oh, they let Master Blasters fill the tank though. Oh, and then he gets the crossfield shot in on his leg, but then he gets bunkered out. Little battles back and forth here.
Yeah, that
so
was good. That was good.
Winning the war so far is Master Blasters, as this player in the Snake definitely was able to contend with the threat in front of him, but not before that guy got his crossfield kill.
Yeah.
So it looks like
yeah, he is all over the guy.
Yeah, he's putting paintballs right through the lane that he needs to, and his opponent looks like he is breaking some balls. So. Oh, and he ends up getting that crossfield kill.
He got that crossfield
kill. That's 2
so.
confirmed kills right now. This player for the Master Blasters and the Snake is really helping out his boys right now.
Yeah. I think he's the same guy that let Colt Roberts
bunker him out.
So now he's
Master Blasters
some redemption.
Master Blasters do lose another body though from that sub side, so bodies are dropping for both squads.
Behind him on the ditch side. He just got a back guy to fill in behind him. So
now this game's getting interesting here.
This game is exciting.
Yeah, back and forth battles, but Master Blasters controlling the Snake currently. And
I don't even know the body count now.
Yeah, it's neither do I. A lot of time left though. 8:20 still on the clock. I think the Master Blasters have lost 4. I think 4 bodies.
I see 5 Master Blasters right now. 1,
yeah.
2, 3,
maybe
4,
5. Maybe they lost 5. Maybe they only have 5 up right now. But the most important thing is they have this body in the 50-yard line on the Snake side, and there's
he's shooting a lot.
Yeah, he's shooting a lot of people.
They don't have him pounded down or anything. He is just. He's up over the top looking for kills.
That's Donaldson here. So Donaldson really helping out his squad here, getting a couple kills and still in a crucial spot. And Rhythm's really not putting any pressure on him right now.
That's, I mean, he is just up over the top playing everywhere. Master Blasters have now gotten 2 back guys over here to support him, which was clutch. Now if they can get up to this tree.
Yeah, Master Blasters with Donaldson here in this key spot, but the Rhythm, they don't really have anyone in a position to contend with him. Rhythm doesn't have any more bodies filtered up on the D side, or sub side. They don't really have, I mean, they have a few bodies left alive, but they're all in the backfield. They don't have anyone set to potentially get into the trench. So, yeah, it's going to be up to Donaldson right now. I mean, he has some bodies behind him, but Donaldson is in the key spot for both teams, already with 2 confirmed kills. And 7 minutes to work with. Master Blasters, if they win this game, it really could put a monkey wrench in Adrenaline's chances to move on. So
for sure,
could seal their fate. Adrenaline waiting in the wings here to play against the All-Americans, which is that's a tough last game to have in a must-win situation.
Blasters have filled this tree now. Subside tree, the tree we keep talking about as being so dominant.
Yeah,
he's gotten in there now, and he's got a back guy. So this is
not looking good for Rhythm.
No, Blasters look good.
Yeah, Blast, that's a good secondary move out wide. That tree is very dominant, especially to help out your player here in the Snake and to filter into the trench. So these games are being closed mostly from the trench side. Obviously, you can do it through the center with a big push. You can also do it on the sub side, contingent on who's in front of you, but this trench side is key for the close. So yeah, Master Blast is getting in a position to take that spot, help Donaldson out here. Donaldson has had a lot of freedom, though, in this spot.
It's amazing. Everyone else we see playing is like face down in the sand.
Yeah, it's hiding.
Trying to clean their guns while
what, three or four people are shooting at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhythm just doesn't really have bodies in position to put much pressure on Donaldson. So he's just had free reign to kind of do whatever he wants in here. He's still playing it real tight, but he's been more effective in putting pressure back on Rhythm. So
yeah. Well, he also doesn't have any, I don't see any more kills for him. I don't see where he's gonna.
Yeah, he's gonna have to manufacture a kill at this point, and there's no more free ones for him. He doesn't have really anyone to shoot at cross field, so that's kind of why he's being so proactive in his bunker. I mean, he's doing his due diligence to find angles to shoot, but now it's gonna be up to his teammates to close the gap here. 5:12 to go. The Master Blasters need to get up here into this trench with Donaldson, and then they need to send another body up into that tank.
Yeah, they really need to get something going on the sub side now.
I mean, they have that body over there at the insert stand-up over on that side. So
yeah, but he's over there all by himself.
That's true. He's on an island. He can't die. That's incredibly important for that guy not to die. I think the guy with the ball is the guy behind Donaldson at this tree. He's the guy that needs to be making this move next.
Yeah, because if not, his snake guy's going to get bored and keep doing what he's doing, and he's going to get planked.
Yeah, exactly. Because, yeah, Donaldson, again, very proactive in this 50-yard line snake.
Yeah. And then it won't do you any good to be in the ditch once you lose your snake guy. You need to do that just before that point.
So, situation has been the same for the last couple minutes. A few moves out here wide, which were intelligent, good moves for the Master Blasters, but it's come time where they need to get up the field a little bit. 4:15 now, and a stalemate would not be good for the Master Blasters. They still have some bodies for Rhythm to work out of their spots.
And Tony making the move. Or is that Doyle? That looks like Doyle. That's Doyle.
Yeah, I can read his back from it. I think it is Doyle. So,
yeah. Now they're in the tank. Master Blasters are in the tank.
Yeah, so that was a good fill for Doyle. We're just talking about that they needed to retake that tank. So they have the tank. Now they need to get going here on the trench side. This guy is, I mean, maybe they've done the math different than us, but they need to get a hang and a pull here. And they have 3 minutes and 35 seconds to work these last Rhythm players out. Only a few bodies left for Rhythm.
Rhythm's playing tight now. You got to give them that credit.
Yeah, no one's died for past 2.5, 3 minutes.
And there's Blasters are hunting for them. So
also, it looks like Rhythm has repositioned to get to insert bunker on the sub side over there to put more pressure on Donaldson. So Donaldson's going to have to play a little tighter than he has been in here. He's been doing great. I mean, Donaldson gets an A.
Yes.
He gets an A+ for this game.
Yeah.
He's been doing fabulous.
That Rolly's starting to battle with him now, so someone's gonna have a little gun battle here. If the Rolly gets eliminated, I think the Blasters are gonna have this. But if this,
tactical retreat here, Tom. I didn't mean to interrupt, but tactical retreat back out of that spot on the sub side for Rhythm. Maybe a little feeling that pressure cross field from either Donaldson. And then now they're gonna, looks like Master Blasters are gonna bring another body from this sideline over here and move him up the center. Now they're gonna get into the trench. So good moves, cross field, start closing the gap. 2:27 to go. Blasters need this win.
This is gonna be hard now for them to start closing this. They're definitely gonna eliminate somebody.
Yeah, to be honest, the easy part's getting here. It's the harder part is to figure out how to close through the crossed up guns. Now they have a body in Snake 1 as well, too. They're having a full-on conversation. Donaldson's talking to Tale over here. Sorry if I butchered your name, number 51. But yeah, they're having a full-on conversation now. Just 2 minutes to work with here to break this cross. I think the move needs to come from the middle. When this situation, when all the guns are out wide, it's got to come from the middle because they still don't have anyone in position on the sub side yet. This guy's a little slow rolling it too much. He needs to move up on that sub side if possible. It's just a huge gap to get through, though.
Yeah, and now with Doyle protecting the sub side, he can die over there and not cause a huge problem.
Exactly.
So now he needs to make that move.
And that's a good point because once you do have that forward progression, you can then loosen up a little bit. Here does come the move from the inside like we were talking about. And he's going to run through. Did he trade? He did. The ref's going to pull him out. The player for Rhythm did not want to come off. He was making his argument, but he lost it. So that was a good move in the inside, but they only have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. They need a hang and a pull here to really solidify their chance to play in the top 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can, the sense of immediacy is there. They're having the correct conversations, but you got to pull the trigger on a move here after that first move. They honestly probably should have gone off the move that came through the center when the chaos was happening. They still have the back center to contend with. You can see here. Yeah, so those are the two bodies. You got the trench and the snake, but they're running out of time.
The heat on the sub side. Yeah,
they're going to have to fully send it here in this about now. I mean, you need about 15, 20 seconds to run that flag all the way. You got to get to their flag station, grab it, run it all the way back. And I think we might see a stalemate, Tom.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a stalemate. Now the Blasters need to hope for a pull to really affect the...
Pull would be big. Pull would be big for him right now. Somebody has to send it right now. 13 seconds. And it looks like he's going to go. Trench player's going to launch as they pull out the back center. So I think, but he gets torched. Hey, I'm not going to knock him. They need this pull.
Donaldson just lost everybody.
Donaldson's going to try to save it. Oh, and they run out of time. So Donaldson just got shot after they blew the whistle, so he should still be a live body. which now he's going to talk to Aaron about that. I mean, he did, yeah. So that's
Yeah,
good.
the referees saw
Yeah,
that.
that was a good move. So that's at this point in time. This is going to make the next game even more interesting because now adrenaline.
They did get about 8 bodies there, right? So that's 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So that's important, right? Because now if they would have ended at that one point, they would have only had 14 points. Now they got 19 points, which now puts more pressure on AC Dallas that they got to go make stuff happen.
Oh, you mean adrenaline?
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now they got to get a lot of bodies.
Yeah, so we only have 2 more games here in the prelims, and they're the last one's very important. It's adrenaline versus the All-Americans. All-Americans are going to be in no matter what, and so they're going to be taking on adrenaline. Adrenaline with this stalemate that we just saw. I mean, it looked good for the Master Blasters. They had all the 50-yard lines except for the sub. I think that was a big component of them not being able to close. They were trying to find a way to not throw bodies. To get shot in a needless run because live bodies are points too. So I understand that situation there, but man, it's just a tough break for them. So that's going to make this last game interesting. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us here at the 2020 Sunshine Classic at Central Florida Paintball. I'm Matty Marshall with Tom Cole, and please head on over to GoSports.com. We're trying to bring you guys the best show that we can, but we need your support to do that. Paintball is a niche industry, and without the support of the subscribers, we can't bring you these broadcasts, and we want to do more. We want to bring a bigger show to the 10-man event, so please do me a solid and head on over to GoSports.com, sign up. We do weekly shows. We got 5 Sundays, just dropped a new episode. We're doing documentary content, so lots of offerings for the paintball world, and that's the reason that we exist. So, yeah, we got 2 more games here on center court. Team Smoke taking on Ground Zero Silver in the amateur division, and then Adrenaline and the All-Americans will be playing the last game out here in the prelims to determine who's going to move on. So All-Americans are in no matter what happens in that game. But Adrenaline, with this Master Blaster stalemate, if Adrenaline has a really good game here and they can put a victory up with some high points up there, keep a lot of bodies alive, they still stand a chance to make it through.
Yep.
We don't know exactly.
I'll try and do the points here.
Exactly how many points they need. We could ask Colt. Colt, do you know exactly how many points you guys need in this next one? Oh, really? We looked at the Blasters just stalemated. If you guys